Welcome, everyone. And I just lost my notes.
Welcome, everyone, to Skeptic Bible Study.
Welcome, everyone, to tonight's Skeptic Bible Study. And I have to... Woohoo! Welcome, misfits, to this night's Skeptic Bible Study. Destruction, darkness, and death. Oh my. On this episode, things are not so happy in Egypt, as the other 5 plagues roll through with hail, boils, and the firstborn Egyptian sons not having plot armor. So won't you join us for another fun adventure with the Bible? For the first half of our Skeptic Bible Study, the hosts will read this week's chapters along with the annotations at the side. Don't mind if we take a less than literal interpretations of characters' names. However, everything else on the page will be left as is, or as was put together via committee. Either way, at the later half of the show, we will switch into our open mic format for anyone to speak their mind on what we just read. At that point, look for the link in chat to come join our Skeptic Bible Study, or throughout the show, send me your questions, comments, or thoughts by tagging me at Amy Newman. After the podcast, if you're still looking for some memeing action, we'll be heading to the Discord for some debates, discussion, or just some chillin'. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and hit that all button icon so you can get live reminders. And if you'd like to support the show, we offer some unique perks with the aim of creating more content at patreon.com/Amy Newman, including awesome Patreons like KO Champ and Oz from the Atheist Roundtable. Okay, with that, let's see what's on the menu. Before we begin, I'm going to start by going over the specific Bible we'll be reading, along with some helpful category marks. Categories, you say? Why, yes I do. You see, we're going to be reading from the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, an entire King James Bible lovingly fawned over by a skeptic who decided he would add his own notations. These are little flagpoles of sanity put in use to remind us that, hey, maybe slavery is evil, including categories like absurdity, injustice, and cruelty, but also a good amount of intolerance, contradictions, and conflicts with science or history. That doesn't mean it's not packed full of misogyny, false prophecy, and some questionable biblical family values. Now, we won't skip the good parts that the Bible has, only that these passages seem far fewer in number than any priest or pastor seems to suggest. So without further ado, won't you come join the Skeptic crew? Woohoo! How are you tonight, James? And are you ready for a death party in darkness?
I am. So we had a really great discussion last night with our morality episode, and we are ready to go today. Now, last episode where we left off, God was having a little bit of fun messing with Pharaoh. And, Amy, so how would you feel if somebody came to you and said, Amy, listen, I need you to give me Moonlight, your cat. If you don't, I'm going to bring like a fuck ton of frogs into your house. Like 200 frogs. You won't be able to see anything but frogs everywhere you look. Even in your oven, even in your shower, it's going to be a frog. When you go to drink your coffee out of your cup, there's going to be a frog in it. What do you think?
I think that I would go a little bit cuckoo.
Yeah,
Frogs. They're
frogs.
turning the frogs gay in Egypt. Okay, that's a lot. It'd be a lot of frogs.
Maybe that's what. Maybe that was the ploy Donald Trump used with North Korea. Maybe Donald Trump was like, "Listen, Rocket Man, if you keep launching these rockets, I'm gonna send frogs, millions and millions of frogs. Whole country will be covered in frogs. So, no more rockets, little Rocket Man.
Little
It'll
rocket
be
man.
tremendous,
Be
tremendous amount of
tremendous.
frogs."
Tremendous. Some
I
people
don't
are
know.
saying the rockets.
I don't know. Yahweh's foreign policy just seems a little unconventional, to say the least. I don't know, Brainbug, any of them, the frog kind, because on the ark, Noah only had to take 2 generic frogs, and then within 5 or 6 years, they diversified into all the frogs that we have today.
And let me tell you, Brainbug, the frogs are not having a good time in this story. I'm fairly sure he basically just summoned frogs, and the frogs were like, "Hey, cool story. Okay, here we are." And then a certain amount of frogs were like wiped out for not no reason. I think God was like, "Hey, we'll wipe out the frogs out of your houses to prove that God is strong or something." And so they wiped out those frogs. And so that frog was like, "Hey, I get to live." It's like, "Nope, you're in a house, by the way." And then they're gone.
Yeah, it never had any time to be a frog, or they weren't even tadpoles or anything. God just conjured them up out of nothing. And then, he moved on to something else like flies. Like, I'll turn your house into the outside of a McDonald's dumpster.
True. Then the
Feel like a
flies
lot
came.
of flies.
Ribbit.
But
All right.
he was having too much fun for everything to end, because he had to keep jumping in there and keep making it so Pharaoh wouldn't be receptive to him, wouldn't want to let the people go. Like, he had to harden his heart like 3 or 4 different times, because hey, he's having too much fun for this stand now. So yeah. So
Yes,
but
because
I think he's gonna amp it up a little bit.
it would have been too boring if it was like, "Let my people go." And the Pharaoh was like, "Huh. Okay." It's like, "Oh, okay. I guess we'll be bye." We're having a good old-fashioned Bible study. And hi, Oz.
Hey, Oz, getting ready for that debate tournament. It's only a couple days away now.
Frogs, the voice of God. That's right.
Praise God. Praise Jesus.
God.
Praise the frogs.
Praise
Holy frogs.
the frogs.
Holy
And
flies.
okay, we were just getting into half the fun. God sent 5 plagues on them, and they were like, just getting started. The 5th plague. All cattle in Egypt died. Once again, what did the cattle do?
The poor cattle.
That seems the poor cattle. And oh boy. So what do we have going on here? We have a whole bunch of fun categories. Let's see. We have, of course, contradictions with itself on the back end, which is always good. Of course, there are no contradictions in the Bible, but in this passage, there seem to be. But that's okay, because we're going to have a little bit of hilarity over here, and everybody loves a little bit of cruelty. Everyone loves a good John Wick movie, and a little bit of injustice. Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. A spice of injustice, because we know that he's the ultimate truth and justice, except when he drowns people. Then he's like, whoops-a-daisy.
Well, no. I mean, yesterday they said, hey, what if everybody before the flood was like Hitler? Even the babies in their cribs were still evil.
Even the babies?
Murderous.
I know.
Yeah. Warmongers in the crib. Yeah. I don't know.
Amy Newman, check out my video on the 8th plague. Ooh. Had Aaron Ra do a dramatic reading of the verse. All right. Challenge accepted.
We will definitely do that.
All right. Well, then let's get to these poor cattle. I like cows. You know, I have a hamburger. I'm sorry, vegans. I want to be, but I still don't want all of them to die and randomly. Okay.
This is not even for food. This is just them dying just
Yes.
because.
This is basically God showing off. He's basically like,
Yeah.
guys, better listen to me. Wait, you can't listen to me. I hardened your heart. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, like a dick size contest between the Egyptian gods and him. And he wins every time that contest because it's tremendous. No god has bigger hands than him.
I would say God wins almost every time. The crazy thing is God seems to somehow lose sometimes. That's the crazier part. Like, I don't know why or at least he had that impression in the Tower of Babel. And if you count Adam and Eve, he at least was friggin' up since the beginning.
There's that little thing with the iron chariots that he doesn't like to talk about. Yeah.
And okay, so then the Lord said unto Moses, go into Pharaoh Bling Bling the third, because somehow we're talking about generations now, and tell him, thus saith the Lord Bob, God of the Hebrews, Shmebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and wilt hold still, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, oh baby, upon the camels, upon the oxen specifically, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain. God said to Moses, go to Pharaoh and say to him, the God of the Hebrews say to you, let my people go, or at least that's what the script writers said, so they can serve me. If you refuse, I will kill your cattle with a deadly disease. He's making threats. He's a mob boss.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'll only kill your cattle, not the Israelites. Okay. We're just at killing cattle. I feel like after this, everything will go.
Well, the Pharaoh's just clearly then he's going to say, oh, I guess we're screwed. We have no cattle, but the Israelites over there, they can keep their cattle. That'll go over fine.
And the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel. Is that the person or the place? That's the place. And the cattle of New York. And there shall be nothing die of all that is in children's of Israel, the place this time. And the Lord, Bob, appointed a set time, saying, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yes, exactly. The Lord Bob shall do this thing in the land. And the Lord Bob did the thing. He did the thing on the morrow. And all the cattle of Egypt, but of the cattle of the children of Israel, died not one. Once again, God doesn't wait for the Pharaoh to respond to his request. He just kills all of the cattle in Egypt the next day. But God doesn't kill any of the Israelites' cattle. So he's like, you better do this. Just kidding. Where's my wand? How does he do it? How does God do everything?
A scientific explanation for how he's does stuff. Finally.
See, now we're getting to science. We're starting to get to some creation science. Okay.
Creation magic. Praise God.
Creation magic. Praise Jesus. All right. What number were we on? Behold,
7.
And Pharaoh Bling Bling the third sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead. And the heart of the Pharaoh was hardened. Again, he hardens the heart. Okay. And he did not let the people go. The Pharaoh noticed that God didn't kill the Israelites' cattle, but he didn't let the people go. I wonder why. It's almost like someone's hardened his heart.
You might get that impression. You might. Now, once again, God has redacted the name of this, not only this Pharaoh, but any of the Pharaohs in the Bible, because he didn't want to embarrass like the one particular Pharaoh, so God just made it so it just says Pharaoh. You don't know which one, any of them, because, hey, he didn't want any
Yeah,
of them to
because why
be
not?
embarrassed. It's not that he didn't want people to be able to, fact check and cross-reference and do research on it to be able to show whether this happened. It's just embarrassment reasons.
Yeah, I don't know why he's going through the rigmarole. Once again, God could Thanos snap and let the people go. He could come down and just do, I don't know, something impressive, something more impressive than apparently the other magicians, because that's the other thing. The magicians so far have been able to replicate. They created lice, and so their solution, the Egyptian solution, was like, fuck you, screw this god. You can make lice, we can make lice. And the magicians created lice, which is a weird reaction. I was going to be like, well, screw this, we have lice killer. But okay.
You
Now
turned your
lice.
stick into a snake. We turned our stick into a snake. Snake sticks.
Though nothing against lice. See, even the poor lice are like, why are we created? And then probably get disappearing. Okay, let's
Thank God
go
for
on.
lice. Praise God.
Thank God. Praise the Jeebus. The sixth plague, boils. I forget which parody of this, but it's like, I think it's the actually upcoming joke with, spoiler alert, the darkness, where they're joking like, well, thank Jeebus that the darkness came, because all the boils were over everyone's face, so at least we can hide the ugly. I forget whose bit that was. The sixth plague, boils. Woohoo! Of course, this is cruel and unusual, but don't worry, folks. The people who are getting the boils didn't deserve it. And to think about it, it's kind of silly that everyone's getting boils, though while horrific. And remember, folks, it's not a contradiction. This is very moral. The people deserved it. Heart and heart, something, something, scribbled.
He has a greater purpose. He has a greater reason for all of it. We just can't understand it yet.
One word, Aunt Jer, and that is Team Unicorn. That's right, Team Unicorn.
Well, there are unicorns mentioned in the Bible, so they probably were on the ark.
Are they? That's fantastic.
Yeah, there is a unicorn mentioned in the Bible, so we know that Noah must have brought him on the ark. We just haven't found fossils of one yet.
Oh, they must have been near the giants.
Probably. Maybe the giants rode them.
Maybe the giants rode them. Just like how the humans used to ride the dinosaurs. They don't want to teach that in the public school with the evolution in my water.
My tax dollar is going to pay for evolution, not Adam riding dinosaurs. My tax dollars, Amy.
My hard paid tax dollars. Okay. Boils, baby. And the Lord Bob said unto what was Charlton, there we go. Charlton Heston, right? Charlton Heston. Yeah. Onto Aaron Ra. Take your handfuls of ashes of the furnace and let Charleston sprinkle it towards the heaven. I don't think this is working. It's just falling on me. Okay. In the sight of Pharaoh Bling Bling III, God said to Moses and Aaron, take handfuls of ashes and sprinkle them toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh.
Like pixie dust.
Like pixie dust. Amazing. My steak ate your snake stick. So we're going to make Yahweh a unicorn, said. And then boom, there's the unicorn. No. Okay. And it shall become small dust in the land of New York, and it shall be a boil breaking forth with plains upon man and upon east throughout all the lands of New York. This will cause boils and plains to break out on people and animals throughout Egypt. Hey, Jaytheist! Welcome to the Bible study.
Welcome to the Bible.
We're having a great time. The people in Egypt, I don't think, are. And they took the ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh Bling Bling III, and Charlton Heston sprinkled it up toward the heaven, and it became a boil, breaking forth with plains upon man and upon beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses, before all of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the New Yorkians. Oh no. And the Lord...
Well, thankfully. Yeah.
Thankfully.
Here we go. Back to
and the Lord Bob hardened the Pharaoh's heart as he weakened not onto them as the Lord had spoken unto Charlton. God hardened the Pharaoh's heart.
Again.
Once again, because this is the sentence that skeptics lovingly may harp on. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto him, as the Lord had spoken unto Moses. So that whole free will thing, hocus pocus, out the window.
Because he loves free will. He loves it.
He loves it.
He loves it so much, he'll burn you forever versus making you love him.
Oh, it's Jay Mixon's channel. Well, then go check out Jay Mixon's channel.
Hey, Jay.
I
thought it said Jaytheist. I thought that sounded like him, but
that kind of makes sense, right? And the Lord. Oh, I should read that as many times over as possible. Though the Calvinists are happy, they're like, yeah, we never said there was free will, but all the other Christians are, yeah. Once again, free will not in the Bible, but they say it's in there somewhere.
Somewhere Spooky Satan is talking about predeterminism and your predeterminism.
You're predetermined. Does he believe in? Smokey believes in predeterminism. Is that
no?
Is that
he believes in free will.
Or is that the opposite? Okay.
He just likes to say everybody else's predeterminism. He uses the word like every other sentence when arguing with atheists. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So all your objections for God are because of that. Yeah.
All your objections
your predeterminism. Yeah, basically, because it's your predeterminism because you think God's a dick because he, does things, but he has planned out ahead of time. Yeah.
Now, I think most of the Christians are saying, now, Amy, just wait. Just wait. You're reading his diary right now, and he was kind of a dick in the old version. Just wait. Jeebus is totally kinder, nicer. You're gonna burn him. Totally nicer. And look, everyone just gets to hug and burr, burr. And I think it's a nicer, cuddly.
Sing Kumbaya with the fig tree and
Kumbaya. Unless you're burning.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were 13, 14?
I think we just got them. I think we're at 13.
Hardened. Okay, we just hardened his heart. And the Lord Bob said unto Charlton, rise up early in the morning, try and eat a healthy breakfast. Look, I'm just trying to help out. And stand before... It's daylight savings time.
Rise
Get
up
good
early.
Sleep. And stand before Pharaoh Bling Bling III, and say unto him, thus saith the Lord God, Bob of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For let me see some annotation. God said to Moses, get up early tomorrow and say to Pharaoh, let my people go so they can serve me. Why is he doing this? You hardened his heart, right? What?
I guess it's impressive.
I just hardened his heart. Go do it. Go try it again. See if it works.
Yeah,
Is he like
he's
beta
not. He's gonna
testing?
say no. He's not gonna let you. But
For I will at this time send all my plagues. Oh my God! He gathered all 5 infinity stones. Oh my God! It's making sense.
like Captain
Upon
Planet.
yeah, Captain Planet. That too. Upon thine heart and upon thy servants. Sorry, I got slavery stuck in my throat. And upon thy people, and that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence. Always a good thing when you hear pestilence in a sentence. And thou shalt be cut off from the earth. So I will send all my plagues so that you know that there's nobody else like me on earth. Okay, we get it, buddy. You don't even have to prove it. I mean, you're just playing with it. I will stretch forth my hand to smite you and with your people with pestilence and cut you off from the earth. Okay. And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up. Oh, excuse me. For to shew in thee my power, and that my name be declared throughout all of earth. This sounds kind of like a supervillain speech. I really don't have to add that much into it.
Like a mob boss, like, hey, listen, nobody messes with Yahweh. Everybody needs to know that. Nobody messes with Yahweh. Nobody.
Listen, buddy. I'm going to
break the
kill your
leg.
cattle. I'm going to give you boils.
Yeah.
Nobody messes with Yahweh.
I already brought the fucking frogs and flies. Don't mess with me.
The frogs, the flies. And in very deed, for this cause I have raised thee up. Oh, I said that. For to shew in power, and that my name may be declared throughout all of earth. And yet exalted thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go. That's why I made you the Pharaoh, to show off my power and make myself famous all over the earth. Oh, it is a supervillain plot.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, hey.
Glory to God. Glory hold to God.
Glory to the Jeebus. Okay. So the 7th plague.
We don't even have the Weather Channel yet, but no Weather Channel, but
yeah. Today's forecast over on here we have hail. Yesterday we had lice. Tomorrow, oh no, more to come. That's what she said. All right. So, what do we have on this plate? Well, if you thought that the violence was finished, let me tell you.
More violence?
More
really?
Violence.
Oh, okay. I thought we were done with it.
But that's okay, because it's definitely very just that we're about to unleash a hailstorm of hail upon people. And once again, kind of random. And I'm getting the feeling now that God is like, what? I told you guys I wasn't going to drown you. Have I drowned you? And of course, we're showing off those lovely, lovely contradictions of that Bible.
The ones that we force into the text that aren't really there.
You atheists just sitting there reading it literally. You need to understand the context, okay? If you understood the context, you would understand why owning humans as property is moral. It would make sense. All of a
It was
sudden.
like a labor program. It was poverty reduction.
Exactly.
It was like a works program
It
back
was
in
a
the day.
works program. Also, don't forget to join us on Discord for some lovely memeing action.
I mean, who doesn't
And
love going to the neighboring countries and kidnapping people and forcing them to work for you? I mean, isn't that
I know. Honestly, wouldn't you want to be, come on, wouldn't you be my slave? I know so many theists are like,
Oh, you
yes,
mean it? Like if you
time to
came
be a
over and
slave.
took me at gunpoint and forced me to do work for you and said you were going to shoot me if I didn't, that would be a great time. That would be really fun. Praise God. Praise Jesus.
Praise Almighty Jeebus. Okay. Going back, also sending love to the chat and the mods. Lots of love out there. And all right, let's get into that lovely hail.
And their hearts are
Behold,
not hardened. God didn't. They
their
have
hearts.
wonderful hearts.
Exactly. We don't have to harden their hearts at all. Behold, tomorrow,
She'll harden
tomorrow.
something else, but not the heart.
Yes, exactly. The shake weight. About this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail.
Very grievous.
Very
The most
grievous.
grievous hail ever.
It's not going to be like a happy hail. Like, hi, we're hail and we're happy and soft, I guess. I don't know.
Like if it's grapefruit size hail coming down and knocking people unconscious.
Such as hath not been in New York since the foundation thereof, even until now. Yeah, Egypt isn't known for its hail, I agree. Moses continued quoting God, saying, oh, wait, no, that wasn't the quote. Tomorrow, about this time, I'll cause it to hail like it's never before hailed in Egypt. We get it, buddy. He's amazing. Send therefore now and gather thy cattle and all that thou hast in the field, for upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die. So gather all your animals, because any animals or people that are in the field will be killed by the hail. Okay, so once again, taking it out on the other animals. I say the other animals because sometimes theists love to, not all of them, there's a division, so, but they try to separate out. They're like, animals, human. It's like, no, human, animals, loving, love, all animals, okay. Even if some of them are yummy. But I love you vegans too. Okay. I wish it was. Okay. Send therefore now and gather thy camel. What did I did I just read that?
Next one, 20.
He that had feared the word of the Lord, Bob, among the servants of Pharaoh Bling Bling III, made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses. The Egyptians that feared God's word were brought all into their cattle into their houses.
Cattle in the house. That's like a bull in the china shop. I don't know if that's going to work for him.
And yeah, I hear this from creationists the most. That's where it tends to come from. And hey, one day, I wish. First, we have to get fruits and vegetables into my diet, and then we can make me vegan. It's a plateau. Okay, where were we? He feared
21.
And I feel bad for the microphone every time I kind of go, but I can't help it. Every time that this slavery keeps on getting stuck in my throat. And He that regarded not the word of the Lord, Bob, left his servants and his cattle in the field. But those that didn't left their cattle in the field. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch forth your, I'll let you answer that, thine hand, okay, fine, toward heaven, and there may be hail in all of the land of New York. Yeah, see, it's a villain. Spider-Man's gonna come and save us all. Upon man and upon beast and upon every herb of the field. Now we're talking. Throughout the land. Oh, it's bad. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got excited because I saw every herb of the field. Throughout the land of New York. God said to Moses, stretch out your hand toward heaven so that hail will fall upon every person, animal, and planet in Egypt. Okie dokie. I will say, at least Yahweh is creative. This list is kind of, it's a little interesting.
Who would come up with something like this? It must be God breathed. Only God could come up with something this crazy.
And what are the mechanisms by which God created all of these plagues? Poof, and a poof, and a poof, 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 poof.
Amy, don't strawman the text. It said Moses raised his hand to heaven, and clearly something part of that made hail.
Exactly. See, it all makes sense now. Throughout the land of Egypt. Okay, stretch forth. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Here we go. We're on 23, right? I like it.
Yes, we are.
Oh, I can't help it. I saw the word stretching forth rod. No, I saw stretching forth rods, and I got excited. And Charlton stretched forth his rod.
He did, huh?
Towards the heaven. And the Lord, Bob, sent thunder and hail. Oh my, is he going to send Odin? That would have been way cooler.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my. And the fire ran along upon the ground. Kind of cool. And the Lord, Bob, rained hail upon the land of New York. So there was hail. That's what you were telling us. And fire mingled with the hail. What? They didn't tell me about this. That's kind of badass for how terrible it is.
You didn't see it in the movie?
No, I didn't see that in the movie. There's fire hail?
Fire hail, yeah.
Wow. I mean, I got to hand it to Yahweh. It's kind of cool.
That's like having sharks with laser beams attached to their freaking head.
That kind of is sharks with laser beams with their head. Once again, if you're going to be a villain, I guess be a cool one, right? So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail. Very grievous. Thank you. Thank you for telling us that. Such as that there were none like it in all the land of Egypt, since it had become a nation. And the hail smote throughout all the lands of Egypt, all that was in the field, both man and beast. And the hail smote every herb of the field, not even the good stuff, and brake every tree of the field. But look at the trees! And the hail killed every person, animal, and tree that remained outside. Kind of a dick move. Except in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites lived, of course.
I mean, Jesus only killed one tree. Here he's killing a bunch of trees.
Yeah, that's kind of extra. I don't know why. And yeah, let me tell you, this book is anything but PG. When the Christians are like, excuse me, no sex, no violence, no harsh language. The Bible's response is like, that's fucking cool. I'm going to slay some people so I can get some wenches to have sex with.
Incest. Bible style. Slavery. Death.
Slavery. We've had slavery mentioned, I want to say, over 100 times. We've just gotten out of the first book of
I
the
feel like
Bible.
you can't go through a chapter without some reference to slavery or servitude.
We're not even up to like the famous quoted or like fought over passages. We're just talking about slavery, like duh,
Yeah,
slaves, duh.
we haven't even got to the point where God says, if you beat your slave and he dies 2 days later, no harm, no foul. He's your property.
Exactly. No harm, no
No harm,
foul.
no foul. Hey, he's your property.
You beat him, but he got up. Walk it off. This is Fight Club or something like that. Okay, it was grievous. I like how it says it was grievous. Such as there were none like it at all in the land since
Yeah, we're on
Rehor
27,
became a nation.
27.
And the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, in the field, both man and beast. And the hail smote every herb. Oh, I did read that. Okay.
Yeah,
Every
27.
field. 27? Oh, no,
Yeah,
26. Only in the land of
you hit that one,
Goshen,
but you can
where the
redo it.
children, I think I read this, but I don't know, where the children of Israel were, there was no hail. Just kind of, okay, dick move. And Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third sent and called for Charlton and Aaron Ra, and said unto them, I have sinned this time, and the Lord, Bob, is righteous, and my people are wicked. After God's hailstorm, the Pharaoh called Moses and said to him, I have sinned. God is righteous, and my people are wicked. Entreat the Lord Bob, for it is enough, and that there be no more mighty thunderings and hail, and I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. Ask God to stop the thunder and hail, and I'll let you go. Oh, well, this must be where the plague stopped. Whew. Good. Okay. Here we go. At least God's going to let him go now. Okay, good.
He's done messing with them.
He's done messing with them. Basically, Pharaoh is like, okay, I got it. Take it.
No more.
No more. Tap out. And
It's too big for me. I can't take it. I can't.
It's too big. Your God, unlike the other gods to the side that we only sometimes talk about, is too much. And Moses, Charlton Heston, said unto him, as soon as I am gone out of the city, I'm going on a spending trip. No. I will spread abroad my hands all over your thighs. No. Onto the Lord Bob, and the thunder shall cease, but it'll make a good AC/DC song. Neither shall there be any more hail, that thou mayest know how that the earth is the Lord's. Bob's. Moses said to him, as soon as I get out of the city, I'll raise my hand to God. And the thunder and the hail will stop. That way, you'll know that the earth belongs to God. Why does he need to do this? Why does God need to piss over like his property? Is he like 7 years old? But I know that you and your people won't fear God. But as for thee and thy servants, I know that thee will not fear the Lord God. And the flax and the barley was smitten, for the barley was in the ear, and the flax was boiled. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were grown up. Oh, I'm glad the rye grew up. The flax and barley were destroyed because they had sprouted, but the wheat and
likes
rye...
flax anyway?
Yeah, once again, kind of random. But the wheat and rye were not, because they were still in the ground. Okay. Yeah, okay.
God didn't want to go in the ground, so yeah.
No,
He didn't want to go in and mess with the wheat.
That would have been too much work. And Moses went out of the city from Pharaoh Bling Bling III and spread his hands unto the Lord Bob. Oh my Bob. And the thunder and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. So Moses left the city, spread his hands to God, and the thunder and hail and rain stopped. And when Pharaoh Bling Bling III saw that the rain and hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more and hardened his heart, he and his servants. And the heart of the Pharaoh was hardened. Neither would he let the children of Israel Shmishmael go, as the Lord had spoken by Charlton. When Pharaoh saw the thunder and hail stop, he sinned some more. Doesn't say what he did. Hardened his heart and refused to let the Israelites go.
I guess refusing to let him go was the sin, or he went back on his word.
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of vague, but okay. We have just read the book of Exodus, chapter 9. What do you think? A lot of wisdom to quote? Oh,
It's a great story of triumph over the odds, the human condition. You know, it's just so much wisdom in there, and yeah, I can't understand how anybody could look at this as just the vain babblings of Bronze Age goat herders. I don't know where anyone would get that impression.
like, I don't understand why anyone would try to hold this up to a science textbook. That's what really hurts me. To the metaphorical theist, I'm once again going to send out an olive branch. That looked like I was doing something else. An olive branch. There we go. If you are believing in evolution, global warming, the world is round, you want to vaccinate your child, and you're not trying to put this into the classroom, I mean, we are mostly on your side. We'll debate the atheist versus theism thing, and we'll get you on our side eventually, but that's another story. This is a science textbook is where James, help me out. Whoa. The wisdom, the science, it's not seeping through.
I mean, it's a progression that you go on, you know. So a lot of the Christians they start off with the literal interpretation, then they evolve over time to a more metaphorical, and then eventually they just make that leap and they come over to our side and admit that it's just stories. It's just yeah. You let go of Yahweh.
Scapegoat back says, isn't it odd that we have kidneys and eyeballs and ears and hearts and lungs that give birth and produce milk, but we're not animals? My snake can talk. Snaky. Exactly. Well, my favorite question just to ask is why men have nipples. It's a very, very subtle question that they may seem silly, but
because God has nipples, because we're created in his image, so God had to make man with nipples.
That's probably my second favorite question is, okay, so you're telling me God is a male and he must have a male chromosome with a dog, right?
I would assume so, yeah.
That's what they're telling us. And okay, so the book of Exodus, chapter 10, we have soaked our feet. We're into the second book now, baby. And if
so
you're just joining us,
the hail is over. The fiery hail.
In fact, if you've just joined us, we are having a Skeptic Bible Study, Destruction, Darkness, and Death. Oh my. Where we are going through the last 5 plagues of the Moses story. I would not want to be in Egypt right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, or New York.
Remember,
Well, there you
everyone,
go. You can
give
find
your
these.
nipples love. Give the nipples love out there.
There you go. Evolution found a purpose for them.
Found the purpose. Okay. If I use enough props, remember, I eventually become Carrot Top. It's my final form. The 8th plague, locusts.
If
Like
you
I
thought
said,
the boils and the hail weren't enough,
yeah.
well,
I mean, I'm with Brainbug here. I actually think the lice and the locusts are cool. It may sound crazy. They're doing their own thing. But hey, the probably the flies, the locusts, the frogs, they're not, no one is winning in this situation. Let me tell you. I feel like it's a bad situation for everyone involved except Yahweh. Yahweh seems to be the only person
he's enjoying himself. Yeah, he's got
enjoying himself.
popcorn. And, people are dying. Hey, it's a good time.
He'll be fine. Lord, where he works in mysterious ways, James. He's
How
just
many people
too.
am I gonna kill today?
You see, it's not that it's evil. It's just that he's so wise that it becomes good again.
Well,
Think about
maybe
it.
maybe we shouldn't ask how many people is he going to kill today. Maybe we should say how many people is he not going to kill. So he only killed 1 million people today. Praise him that he didn't kill the rest of them.
See, now you're thinking of the open. I was trying to place it with locusts. I couldn't do it. The happy side of the plagues. Now you're thinking positively.
Yeah. Don't be mad at God for Stalin or Pol Pot, because be thankful that he didn't send more of them.
Exactly. Now you're thinking glass half full plague version. There we go. My brain had it. Sometimes I have a amy.exe stop every once in a while. I get a crash.
You have a free will moment. It doesn't work.
Yes. We every once in a while. Okay. The 8th plague, locusts. Bah, 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 bah. The Lord Bob said unto Charlton, go in unto Pharaoh.
Okay. If that's what you want me to do, God, I'll do it.
Let me tell you, the things I do for God. For I have
hardened his heart. He hardened the wrong part, though.
Sorry. I mean, I just have to stop. I mean, every once in a while, he says the quiet thing out loud.
What you're thinking, yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to say that. Like, okay. And the Lord said unto Charlton, go in unto Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third, for I have hardened his heart.
Yeah, we know. For like the 8th time.
Yeah, you said it. And it's kind of it was terrible the first time. We get it every time. For his servants that I might shew these my signs before him. God said to Moses, go to Pharaoh, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son and of thy son's son what things I have wrought in New York, and my signs which I have done among them, that ye know how that I am the Lord Bob. God said to Moses, go to Pharaoh, I have hardened his heart, so I can show him all my signs and wonders, and so you can tell your sons and grandsons about all the things I did in Egypt. That way, you'll know I'm God.
Nice, that makes sense. That's why he's doing all this, so that they can tell the kids all kinds of fun stories about how many people God killed in Egypt. He's such a great God. He killed all these people. Totally. The boils, yeah.
This is the perfect God, remember. The perfect God that can't lie, apparently. I'm also waiting. Is there a passage in the Bible that says God can't lie? Because we haven't come across that passage yet.
Probably not in those words. It's probably like a roundabout way of saying it, but little injustice.
I'm waiting for it. And okay. Are we on 3? I think
3, yes.
And Charlton and Aaron Raw came in onto Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third.
Both of them. Both of them.
It's a Yowie threesome, something for the ladies. It's funny. I hear gay sex, and my first thought is something for the ladies and for the gay men too.
I thought God. Wait a minute. I thought God didn't like Sodom and Gomorrah. Didn't he have that little temper tantrum and he had to kill them all? Now he's okay.
Somehow God killed all the gays, and somehow they keep on popping back up. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And
now they just cause hurricanes and earthquakes and things like that.
I like having that power, though. It's amazing. Every time I get a little bit bored, I'm like, hey, maybe I should cause a hurricane. That'd be kind of cool. But then they get all uppity on those television channels, and then they have to make money. Oh, man. So those funny evangelicals. And they else did I? I think I was halfway through this.
Yeah.
Thus saith the Lord God, Bob of the Hebrews, how long wilt thou refuse to humble myself before me? Until you stop hardening his heart. I mean, that seems fairly simple. Let my people go, that they may serve me. So it's clear what God also wants them to do. Free them so that they can serve me.
They can go and kill animals and burn the corpses to me.
Burn, baby, burn.
Hey, Robert.
Woohoo! And okay, what will we serve else? If thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the locust into thy coast.
Tomorrow. Will I? I don't know. Will you got?
They shall cover the face of the earth, that one cannot be able to see the earth. That's a lot. That's a lot of locusts. And they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped, which remaineth onto you from the hail. People are going to be like, I wish there was the hail again. And shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the field. And they shall fill thy houses, and the houses of thy servants, and the houses of all the New Yorkians. Once again, not a supervillain speech. Which neither thy fathers nor thy fathers' fathers have seen since the day that they were upon the earth unto this day. And he turned himself and went out from Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third. This is what God says. How long will you refuse to humble yourself before you? Probably until you stop hardening my heart. If you refuse to let my people go, I'll bring locusts to cover the ground, fill all the houses, and eat every plant in Egypt. There will be more locusts than anyone has ever seen before you, and they'll destroy whatever has survived my previous plagues. Oh, good, he's covering his bases. Just in case anything survived, gonna have the cleanup crew of locusts. Nice guy.
Praise God.
Yeah, praise Jeebus. The wisdom. Once again, if the wisdom is... Can I say another thing that I find sickening? It's a phrase that they have recontextualized to be amazing, but this whole concept of fearing God, like it's amazing. Like, I'm a Bible God-fearing Christian. And it's like, why would you? I get that you somehow you have reinterpreted to the fear somehow is like a good thing, but it's
The
like,
fear of
no,
God is the beginning of wisdom.
yeah, that sounds like the beginning of Stockholm syndrome. I'm pretty sure that's
Well,
how that starts.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we know how much these people, how much sway Pascal's wager holds on them. So there's a good chunk of Christians out there who are just Christians because they are afraid that if they're not, they're gonna go to hell. So they might not even like Yahweh. They might not. They might actually agree that he's a dick, but doesn't matter because he'll still send them to hell. So you just gonna have to worship him anyway. Yeah, it's like Stockholm syndrome, like battered woman syndrome.
Yeah. And it's always, you better do this because I could do something worse to you, which is once again always lovely. I can't call it anything else but a threat.
So yeah, I mean, love him or he'll kill you, Amy, and then he'll do mean things to you after you die. He will because he loves you.
Because he loves you. Now, hold on. I'm going to keep on saying it until it happens. This deity at least lets you die. He'll at least let you die.
So far.
Now, he's going to torture so far. Now, he's going to torture you every single waking moment that you're alive. But once again, he's perfect and good and
moral,
just,
merciful, perfect mercy, perfect justice.
Perfect mercy. And okay, so we're at 7?
8, I think.
8. And okay, and Charlton and Aaron Ra were brought again onto Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third, and he said unto them, excuse me, that verb again. Excuse me. Go serve the Lord Bob, your God. But who are they that shall go? The Pharaoh said to Moses and Aaron, go serve your God, but who will go with you? I think the slaves are. Am I missing something? And Charlton said, we will go with our young and with our old and with our sons and with our daughters. You just say everyone.
Yeah.
With our flocks and with our herds. Oh, hold on. We got to hold on, Larry.
And our fish. And our cats and our dogs.
Fish, and I'm going to need a little bit of cheese. And is this a laundry list? No. Okay. Just
our gut fish. Bacteria, parasites that we might carry. Lots
Bring
of germs.
Yeah. And Moses said, okay, he's the laundry list. Flocks with our herds, we will go, for we must hold a feast unto the Lord. Moses said, we will take everyone, but he had to list everything, young and old, along with all of our animals, because we must have a feast for God. Or just because you kind of want food? And he said unto them, let the Lord Bob be so with you, and I will let you go, and your little ones. Look to it, for evil is before you. Not now. Go with ye that are men, and serve the Lord Bob, for that ye did desire, and they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. The Pharaoh said, okay, go with God, take your children with you. Okay, now it ends, right? We're finally... It's over. No more plagues. It's done. Now go. And the Lord Bob said unto Charlton, stretch out thine hand over the land of Egypt and New York, for the locust that may come up upon the land of New York, eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail have left. Wow, he's really...
Didn't Pharaoh say they could go, and now the locusts are coming anyway? Did I miss something in there?
Not a delicious locust. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Very specific, though. And Charlton stretched forth his rod over the land of New York,
Oh,
and the
okay.
Lord Bob. How do you stretch out your Lord over a land? Just like you just held it up? I mean, okay, you held it up. And
Over the land.
Over the land. Okay.
Yes.
Well, good. At least now we know. And the Lord Bob brought an east wind, upon the land all day and all that night. And when it was in the morning, it was almost about to sound like a song. The east wind brought the locust.
Oh.
And the
So you
Oh,
didn't
well,
just
now it
poof
all
them out
makes
of
sense.
nothing. So the wind brought them. You didn't just like zap zap locusts like you did with the frogs.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be fine. It'll be good. And the locust went up over all the land of New York and rested in all the coast of New York. Okay? Very grievous. Were
Very.
very grievous. It was very grievous. Were they? Before them were no such locusts, as they, neither after them shall be such. For they covered their face of the whole earth. They covered the whole earth?
That's what it
So that
says, not just Egypt. It does say the whole earth.
that escalated quickly. And what did everyone else on earth do? Wow.
I
So
mean,
that
clearly there must be stories about that recorded all throughout, like China and the Americas. About that day, locusts covered everything.
Yeah. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened. And they did eat every herb of the land, and all the fruit of the trees, which the hail had left. And there remained not any green thing in the trees. Once again, what did the trees do? Who knows? Or in the herbs of the field throughout the land of New York.
Bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Praise Jesus.
Praise the Jeeves. Oh, this flying spaghetti monster. Then, or let's get some context. We'll read the annotation. So stretch out his hand and brought an east wind, which blew for a day and night. Oh, baby. The
You
next
just blow in the
morning,
wind there, Amy.
blow in the wind. The next morning, the ground was covered with locusts who ate every plant in Egypt. Wonderful. Everyone's having a great old time. Welcome, Donald, stretching out his
Oh, we are
rod.
taking it the wrong way, Donald. We are
Excuse
definitely
me.
taking it the wrong way.
How could we ever take stretching out a rod wrong? And excuse me, I like to stretch out my hands every once in a while. That's just what we do.
On the rod?
On the rod.
Hey,
Welcome,
Brian.
Brian. That's right. It's the Aaron Ra. He is back in the desert. It's amazing. Back in Egypt.
He's been reincarnated.
Let's see. And he went out. Oh wait, no. Now called from Moses and then Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third called for Charlton and Aaron Ra in haste. Come on, haste. And he said, I have sinned against the Lord Bob, your God, and against you. Now therefore, forgive me. I pray thee, my sin only this once, and entreat the Lord Bob, your God, that he may take away from me this death only. The Pharaoh called Moses and said, I have sinned against your God and against you. Please forgive me this once and ask God to quit killing us. Oh, well, clearly it has to end now. He's asking. And the Lord Bob turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locust. So we're taken away one, and cast them into the Red Sea. There remained not one locust, in all the coasts of Egypt. See, now the locusts are getting a bad deal out of this. I mean, come on, what'd they do? But the Lord, Bob, hardened Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go. Okay. What the... This is the fourth time.
Basically, God's like, no, it can't be over. I want another plague. I want another plague. No.
I get it. You learned your lesson or something. And
I want another plague.
I guess I'm mighty and stuff, but does everyone know I'm mighty? Not quite yet. I mean,
I feel like there's more I have to do.
There's more. I have more. There's so much plagues to do and so little time. I'm sorry. Plagues?
Getting back to reality now, it does say he sent the locust there to eat everything green, every plant in Egypt. So basically that means everybody's going to die there within a very short amount of time. The animals aren't going to have anything to eat. The people are going, after he killed all the cattle. How is it that they're just like, okay, it's like these plagues are like inconveniences, but they would be like detrimental. Like it would be enough to kill an entire country. You imagine if everything green disappeared tomorrow?
And they try and defend the flood, but how about these type of events? This would be, you'd think there'd be some data from this. There were locusts covering the entire earth. There were,
nothing green anywhere.
Nothing green anywhere?
Everything. Every plant, every tree, every herb, everything.
I feel like I'd like to see a smidgen of evidence. Just a tiny bit. But who are we to judge such mighty power?
Well, I'm just going, the evidence is that if that happened, the nation of Israel or Egypt would have ended right then and there. It would be over.
And so I have a slight, I think, Philly Bucks County, which is a suburb of Philly. So that means that I like to drink my water. Just love a good old cup of water.
Water.
Goes down good.
The Spirit of God moved over the water.
Yes. Moves right through me. It must have been that east wind.
All right, so the locusts are dead. Now let's see what Yahweh has in store. 21.
21? Okay, so the ninth plague. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're almost... You got to have 10 because he has to have a good list. You're
One
torturing...
for each finger, right?
You're torturing people, but you can't be disorganized, right? Come on. You got to have standards. Just because you're frigging sending plagues doesn't mean you can't do things right. All right.
3 days of darkness, so I'm guessing God is going to temporarily stop the rotation of Earth. So some place is going to have 3 days of daylight, and Egypt is going to be on dark for 3 days.
You don't know. It could be that gases do not affect longevity.
Maybe just God hovered over the sun so that over Egypt to make sure the light didn't get down. Okay. He intercepted the photons and ate them for breakfast.
Look, when you have magic, you can do whatever you want. You don't need these fancy scientific theories. It's just a theory anyway. So, just a theory. Just a theory. I think I hear just a theory in my nightmares. All right. So we have some good old bad judgment. But that's not all. It's kind of funny to think that he's about to cover everyone in darkness. But once again, as another comedian's bit once said, I guess when there's hailing and locusts and frogs and rivers of blood, at a certain point you're like, you know what? Just turn the lights off.
I mean, that's why there's at least there's no violence in here. That's the one time there hasn't been violence. I mean, it can't be bad for the plants because he already killed them the last chapter, so they don't need any sunlight because they're already dead.
At least he's an equal opportunity offender. Yahweh's like, look, do you like plants or do you like animals? Good, I'm going to kill both of them.
And then I'm going to turn the lights off because why not?
Why not? All right. The 9th plague, 3 days of darkness, and don't forget some lovely contradictions with itself. Okay. And the Lord Bob said unto Charlton, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of New York. Once again, not a supervillain. Even darkness, which may be felt. Once again, not a supervillain. God said to Moses, stretch out your hand toward heaven to make darkness over Egypt, a darkness that can be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward the heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt. In all the land of Egypt, 3 days. I feel like there should have been a comma there. So Moses stretched out his hand, and a thick, not a thin, a thick darkness descended on Egypt for 3 days. Okay. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days. And they saw not one another, because that's what darkness means. Neither rose any from his place for 3 days. That's got to be hard to go to the bathroom. But all the children of Israel Shmishmael had light in their dwellings. Showing off again. It was so dark that the Egyptians couldn't see one another, but it was light in all the Israelites' dwellings. But you hardened his heart. Why are we... Okay. And Pharaoh Bling the Third called on to Charlton and said, go ye, serve the Lord, Bob. Only let your flocks and your herds be stayed. Let your little ones also go with you. And Moses said, thou must give us also sacrifices and burnt offerings, because our God is kind of into that we may sacrifice unto the Lord, Bob, our God. Our cattle also shall go with us. There shall not an hoof be left behind, for therefore must we take to serve the Lord, Bob, our God, and we know not with what we must serve the Lord, Bob, until we come thither. The Pharaoh called Moses and said, go and serve God, because at this point, I think that's kind of the moral of the story, but you could have just let me go and not harden my heart. Keep your flocks and herds here in Egypt.
That's no fun.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
But take your children with you. Moses said, we will take our animals with us. You told us that a bunch of times, because we will have to sacrifice them to God, because that's a normal thing that people do. And it's so funny that oftentimes I hear random groups of other theists sometimes look on Aztec culture, and they're like, those silly Aztecs, they were
human
ripping
sacrifice.
They were ripping out people's hearts and sacrificing people, and oh my God. Those people were so barbaric. Anyways, can someone drag the goat's the goat out here so I can slit its throat? Da 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 da
I mean, it's
da.
or hey, Abraham, how's that son that you love? Yeah, yeah, that son that you love. I want you to take him and sacrifice him. Make unto him a burnt offering. Go ahead, Abraham.
Yeah, just make some burnt offerings. Get some barbecue. Mm-mm-mm.
But how barbaric, yeah, were these other cultures that are,
Those barbaric Aztecs and pagans and all those making human sacrifices. Our God instead likes animal sacrifice. Well, other animal sacrifices. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a part two. Oh, it
oh,
focuses
well,
around a. Ooh.
but that's him sacrificing himself to himself. So
Yeah, but you
it's
got to
yeah,
understand, this guy is perfect. When it's
yeah, he sacrificed,
perfect,
yeah.
it's perfectly fine. See? Perfect, perfectly fine. It goes together. Come on.
Then he can sacrifice himself to himself.
All makes sense. And okay, I'm sorry. If he had said this hardened Pharaoh's heart thing once, atheists would pine on this chapter forever. I will never let this go. What the hell? Yahweh hardened
Over and over
Pharaoh's
and over and
heart
over again.
over and over and over again. Pharaoh is tortured. If anyone is watching WandaVision recently, and spoilers, but I mean, I
It's
won't
like
even spoil too much, but controlling people's minds and stuff. Pharaoh doesn't have any choice. I mean,
like he's trying
Pharaoh.
to say let him go, and he just can't get the words out. And instead, God makes him say, "No, you can't go."
Yes, he's basically like, I'll let you, and God is like coming down, is like touching his heart, and he's like, dung, and all of a sudden,
You
Pharaoh's
can't
like,
go.
oh, you can't go. I don't
Go
know.
into the wilderness to serve thy God, the God of the Hebrews, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and even the God of Jacob.
And even the God of
Even,
Jacob? Oh my goddess.
even the
Okay.
God of Jacob. Well, if you would have
Ugh.
said that from the start, I
Oh,
mean,
well, now
yeah.
it makes sense.
If you would have told me he was the God of Jacob to begin with, we could have. This whole thing could have been like one chapter.
Could have saved us time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The scribes must have got paid by the word back then, so
And okay,
they're like
Pharaoh's.
the lawyers of today.
So yeah, they had to get paid, and so you had to get them out there. They had to be busy. And Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third said unto him, Get thee from me, take heed to thyself, see my face no more. For in that day thou seest my face, thou shalt die. So he has a face? Oh. And
The Pharaoh.
Moses. Oh,
It's the Pharaoh's
okay. The
face.
Pharaoh.
Yeah,
And Pharaoh
Pharaoh's
said
face.
unto him, Get thee from me, take heed to thyself, see my face no more, for in that thou my face shalt die. So Pharaoh said to Moses, Get away from me, I never want to see your face again. If I see you again, I'll kill you. And Charlton said, Thou hast spoken well. Okay, I like your terms. I will see thy face again no more.
It's like a breakup, like the boyfriend, like I never want to see you again. Never call me again. It's like, no problem, bitch. I ain't gonna call you again.
Yeah, so Pharaoh said to Moses, Get away from me, never see my face again. If I see you again, I'll kill you. Moses replied, Don't worry, you won't see me again.
Although that's like it reminds me of time when God said, if somebody did something in a garden, they would die that day, but that didn't really happen quite that way.
A certain
Remember that,
serpent.
Amy?
I do.
Yeah.
I remember a certain legged lizard seeming to.
Yeah, it
Or
said you won't
reptile.
die. Yeah,
Your
you'll just know things if you eat from the tree of knowledge. You'll know things you don't know now. Like educating yourself would be a good thing, and I mean that's vile and disgusting language to God.
That's vile. Excuse me. You
Vile.
can't read any. You can't read other books. This is the only book you should be reading. Excuse me. Only the
The
Bible. And
authorized
okay,
version. Authorized
the
version. That's it.
authorized. Yes, the right one. All other ones are heresy. All other Christians are not true Christians. Speaking of the book of Exodus, chapter 10, we are moving along. Woohoo! So, what do you think? Is the wisdom pouring out? Because I have to say, this has been one of the more evil chapters, and he has done a lot
Yeah.
of evil stuff.
Over and over again. It's like, yeah, just when you think he's done his worst, he sinks even lower. You know, just when you thought we've gotten to the bottom of the God barrel, you know, he goes under the barrel and keeps digging. He's just, yeah.
Dig, dig, dig.
That's why I said yesterday, I think you could get better morality from a homeless man, drunk guy sleeping under an overpass. And if you got his morality, it would probably be kinder than God's.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I will say, that being said, all of that being said, and me agreeing 100% with James, bring us evidence and we'll accept it. It's not we'll say, "Oh my goddess, I can't believe he did it," and it's horrible. But here it
But
is.
he did it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like a human who does bad things. You don't want to think that people would do bad things like Ted Bundy or the various murders throughout history, but if there's evidence they did it, then they did it.
Oh, and
Doesn't
now
mean
I
you're
see,
going to worship them.
and I see you, Haley. I didn't spoil anything. I promise. I promise. You promise. Anything I said, you would know from watching the first episode. Yeah, that's just the premise.
Skeptic Ball Z.
Okay, Skeptic Ball Z. Because I don't want to give spoilers.
Praise God.
Yeah, and I'm going back and forth, sending love out to the chat and to the mods once again. I'm every once in a while I try and peek in there and see what's fun. And okay, we are getting up to the finale, the
climax.
I'm trying to think what they call it. The closing act. There we go. The closing act of the night. But we can't just jump into it right away. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
God
Yahweh
has
is, if
to
anything,
plan.
not premature.
Not premature. And as I forget which, I think this is Louis C.K. There's no such thing as premature ejaculation. It happens exactly when it was supposed to. I think that is Louis. Good to know. Okay. So let's see what's on the menu. This is the last thing I think I have of my little Carrot Top sketch is intolerance. I have a cute little blushie coming that's reversible. It's like a squid. It's like a happy squid. Sad squid. So I'll just use the skull. So we have intolerance.
Well, at least we're back to violence. That's good.
Back. I know some good
we
old.
took a break from violence, but
exactly. So good. So not only are we being intolerant, but we're being violent while we're being intolerant. So a good combo. I like to think so.
And unjust on top of that. Wow.
It's not only violent. It's not only intolerant. There's not a whole bunch of justice in it either. And once again, I know that the commandments aren't up yet, but you know that whole thou shalt not kill thing? I'm trying to, somewhere in here, I'm trying to find the place where God realizes that's one of his commandments and stops killing people. I'm waiting for that.
It's okay because he's God. I mean, but when humans do that, that's bad. When God does it, it's good. When humans do it, it's bad. do as he says, not as he does.
Yeah, exactly. I can kill people because I'm the Almighty. But I mean, you pawns.
I mean, just do what Jesus would do. Like, you would get pissed off and yell and have a conversation with a tree and kill a tree. But yeah, don't do what God would do.
Don't do
Yeah.
what God would do.
Don't do what God would do.
And okay, the book of Exodus, chapter 11. God plans the 10th plague. And the Lord, Bob, said unto Charlton, yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third. I was kind of leaving the best for last. And upon New York. I mean, this is what a supervillain does, but okay. Afterwards, he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. God
he'll
said
thrust you
to
out
Moses,
altogether. Okay.
oh, baby,
Well, he's thrusting
God
you
said
out.
to Moses, I'll bring one more plague on Egypt. After that, the Pharaoh will let you go. Didn't he let you go? Wait.
God won't harden his heart after that one. Once he gets through with his grand finale.
But that was the last section. That was literally what he said last. The Pharaoh Bling Bling was like, oh, get out of here. Get out of here, or I'm going to kill you.
God hardened his heart.
Okay. I mean, whatever. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of his neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. Oh my. And the Lord Bob gave the people favor in the sight of the New Yorkians. Moreover, the man Charlton was very great in the land of New York, in the sight of Pharaoh Bling Bling the Third's servants, and in the sight of the people. When you leave, tell the people to steal all the Egyptians' jewels, silver, and gold. What? Why? Why are you telling them to steal? What happened to thou not? I know it hasn't been. I know you're about to make the thou shall not steal, but like this isn't like a you steal everything and then you put up the thou shall not steal sign.
God's telling him to do it, so it's okay. He wants him to. It's like when you attack a city of people that you just want to attack, then you can take the women and children as booty, as property, right? And that's totally moral. Totally moral.
Yeah, totally moral.
I mean, taking the women is just like taking, I don't know, gold, silver. And did you love Amy in that debate last night? I didn't mention this where who's that guy? Was in his name Ken, the Christian, the theist on there, and when Skylar had asked him about the taking of women and children as property, if that was moral, and then he went ahead and read through some biblical talking points because there's a couple places in the Bible where God doesn't refer to women as property. There's a couple in there, so hey, it's a big book. There's a couple places where women are not property, so hey, it's not all bad.
Yeah, I would like to know where the women who aren't property seem to be very few and far between. And to just do a little ad in between, what's Tart? The Atheist Round Table.
That's Oz, the guy who was on last night.
Right.
Oz, yeah, that's his channel.
He basically runs a channel trying to normalize atheism. However, he has lots of theist speakers on there, and they run debates, and they're going to be having a fantastic debate-off Saturday, this 20th, and you can find out more by going to tart.live.
And
And I'm
Amy
gonna
will
be
be modding it. Yeah. Helping
woohoo!
out.
So go check that out.
Praise Amy.
Praise Jeeves.
Praise Amy.
And all
Ramen.
right, raw men. So where were we? We were just going. We were
Number
just
3.
stealing some gold. I
Yeah.
think we're at
Yeah.
4.
4. Yeah.
And Charlton said, "Thus said the Lord, Bob, about midnight." Hey, it's a midnight ranting. They're joining our shtick. "Will I go out in the midst of New York, and all the firstborn in the land of New York shall die. From the firstborn of Pharaoh Bling Bling the third, that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of all the maidservants that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of the beasts." Moses said, this is what God says. About midnight, you come out, I come out. First one who gets a slinger wins. Oh, no. About midnight, I will come down to Egypt and kill every firstborn human and animal. Okay, it was worse than my joke. I was just having a gunslinger joke. He's like, no, I'm killing everybody.
Well, finally, he's gotten to do what he wanted to do from the start. But, yeah. I want to go down and kill a bunch of people. I want to go down and kill a bunch of people. Okay.
I know. We get it, Yahweh. Just calm down. Can't you just play with your toys?
No, I want to kill
Hey,
people.
the freak.
It's not fair. I haven't killed anybody today.
Just kill everybody.
I just flooded the planet. That was like 1,000 years ago. I haven't killed a bunch of people since then.
I haven't killed anybody. Exactly. It's one of the downsides. I'm not even getting into that. That's what I get for bringing things up.
Praise God.
Praise Jeeves. Yeah, kill
Number
everything.
6. Yeah.
Okay, and on the what were we reading?
6.
6, and there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of New York, such as there were none like it, nor shall be it like any more. There shall be a cry throughout Egypt, like nothing the world has ever heard before or ever will hear again.
Yeah. Governor Cuomo, he's in the hot seat right now.
Uh-oh. But against any of the children of the Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord Bob doeth put a difference between the New Yorkians and the Israel Shmishmaels. But I won't. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll read. "And all these thy servants shall come down unto me," oh, baby, "and bow down themselves unto me," still kinky, "saying, Get thee out, and all the people that will follow thee. And after that I will go out." And he went out from Pharaoh Bling Bling the third in a great anger. "But I won't hurt among the Israelites. I am killing the Egyptians' children and animals to show that I like the Israelites more than the Egyptians." Yeah, we kind of got that. That seems to be the moral of the friggin' story.
You think, huh? Oh, that's
yeah. Okay. "And the Lord, Bob, said unto Moses, Pharaoh Bling Bling the third shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. And Moses, Charlton, and Aaron Ra did all these wonders before Pharaoh Bling Bling the third," and I squeak sometimes. "And the Lord Bob,"
you get surprised every time.
It's hardening my heart. That's the truth. The Lord Bob hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel Shemishmael go out
That
of
heart
this
has got to
land.
be like cement by now. He's hearted it so many times.
I know. I'm surprised blood is able to flow through it at this point. God said to Moses, Pharaoh will not listen to you, so that I can show off all my signs and wonders throughout Egypt. God hardens Pharaoh's heart one last time. I think that's 5, which is kind of crazy, so that he would not let the children of Israel go. Yeah, we kind of,
I mean,
we got that.
he wants to kill all the people, and if Pharaoh lets him go, then he won't be able to do that.
Yeah. And all right, so we have just gotten done the book of Exodus, chapter 11. Woo-hoo!
Woo!
Moving on by, and man, I mean, I guess God was like, listen, I know you're about to let my people go, but I kind of needed a finale, so don't ruin my shtick.
Yeah, don't let him go just yet, because I haven't killed enough people yet. So I was kind of saving that for the end, and we've got 10 plagues, so yeah.
And that's
We're
right.
slogging through the
We're
whole
going through the entire Bible, 95% word for word. I may be changing a few names here and there, but other than that.
See, this is good because that way the theists, the Christians, can't say you just cherry picked or quote mined the Bible.
And honestly, I think it's good for everyone involved. I think if they're a theist watching, I think they could actually get. I mean, we are reading the Bible. I can't imagine. I would like to know how many Christians actually have read the Bible, have opened the tomb up and read it from Bible to Bible, from cover to cover.
Or to see how somebody who doesn't have their God glasses on would read it. What, somebody trying to be neutral, well, sort of neutral.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I wanna read it, and like I said, I'm waiting for the wisdom.
Whenever we get to a good part, it's
the
gotta
funny
be
thing
sooner or later.
Is that this book could be different. Is that this book actually could be so good that it could be blasting our heads back with wisdom, and us just being like, man, these people back then, how the frig did they do this? I mean, this looks like a book that could be written back then. I don't understand where the miracle is.
Oh, you mean, isn't it unusual how the perfect morality that is God's morality happens to coincide with the morality of Bronze Age man? Perfectly lines up. Perfectly lines up.
So.
Everything that they thought back then is actually true and good and moral and just.
You need to understand, he was just trying to stretch out his stick. And you have to also, I mean, come on. It was cold out. Everyone's got an explanation, okay? Be nice.
The hail, the fiery hail. So
the hail, the fiery hail.
And then it fired. So
yes, it shrunk a little. So he had to extend it. And all right.
Last
we are having
is that the
a
last
skeptic. Yes. Yeah, so we're having our Skeptic Bible Study, Destruction, Darkness, and Death. Oh my. This will be our last chapter of the night, and then we're going to open up the floodgates for a little while and see if anyone has any commentary on what we just read, on all that wisdom. And okay, the book of Exodus, chapter 12, and oh my, is it fun? So
the deck is stacked.
The deck is stacked. The buffet is all ready for us. We're going to have some fun. And that fun is unfortunately going to be very intolerant. But it's not just intolerant, it's kind of unfair to all the people. Oh, excuse me once again as I got on camera.
Thank goodness we got the violence. Thank
goodness we get right back to the violence. But what would the Bible be without Some good old family values. Very
Violent
cute.
family
Very cute.
values.
Violent family babbles. Exactly. And then we're going to a rarity. Here we're coming back. We're bringing up some good old feminism. We got this. We got this. Okay.
Yahweh says, "No, I've got this."
I got this. I got this, Moho. I'm gonna get this on the down low.
I hard and fair. It is super hard. Super hard.
Super hard. And okay. So God finds a way to avoid killing
Hello,
the
Haley.
wrong children. Hi, Haley. Yeah, exactly. Amy's gay. I am a little gay. At least halfway. I don't know about the other half. The other half is a little suspect, but it may be filled with the straight. Oh my God. Okay. God finds a way to avoid killing the wrong children. And the Lord, Bob, spak, did he? On to Moses, Charlton Heston, and Aaron Ra in the land of New York, saying, "This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you." Oh, goody. This is
Social
like
Security
personal.
checks go out.
Yeah, this is like personal exposition. It's not just exposition. God is like, no. This is how it is now. "Speak ye unto the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. On the 10th day of this month, every family must select an unblemished first-year male lamb or goat. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb." Okay. "Your lamb shall
like a
be
census, a lamb census.
a lamb census." We're just gonna and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 sheep and a 2 sheep and a 3 sheep.
Wait, there's a lamb hiding back there. You missed one.
Missed the lamb. Come here,
There you go.
Lammy. All right,
Chaps, play along.
"Your lamb shall be without a blemish, and a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening, and they shall take the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper door posts of the house wherein they shall eat it. On the evening of the 14th day, kill the animal and wipe some of its blood on the side and the top of the doorpost."
Well, that makes sense. That yeah.
Yeah, see? Once again, we are having some good old biblical science. Ladies and gentlemen, you can put the Bible right in there. Goes right in.
It's scientifically accurate, 100%.
Exactly, 100%. Okay, where were we? And we're taking on the 14th day. "And they shall take the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts." Okay, this is the famous. Now we're killing the animal, putting it up on the post. Yeah, Passover. By the way, this is why I don't consider myself a cultural Jew. One of these stories, because I often get that, like, well, don't you want to celebrate the holidays? And yes, if my parents have the holiday, I will go and eat there because I just like eating, just like I like Christmas. But I'm not celebrating the story because it's worse than I thought. Oh my Jeebus. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't tell you the whole time that it was just God playing Pharaoh like a puppet just to do an exposition.
Yeah, the Sunday school or Hebrew school version makes this out to be much nicer than
Yeah.
it is.
Like the Sunday
Uh,
school version of Noah's Ark. It's not about genocide. It's about a fun boat with animals. It's like a
yeah, they
zoo on
flip it.
water. It's a zoo on water. It's fun.
Ignore everyone dying. Come on, get on the ark. It's gonna be a great time. Uh, and they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire. Oh, it's making me hungry. And unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs and 5 spices, and they shall eat it. The roast its flesh and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. Eat of it raw, nor sodden of it all water, nor sodden it all with water, but roast it with fire. Wow, we're cooking with Yahweh again. His head with his legs and with the pertinence thereof.
Very
Don't,
specific on how to cook that.
yeah, very, very specific. Welcome
Welcome
back,
back.
Ryan.
Although this is probably going to be one of his better recipes. He's going to give some more recipes later on that are not quite as good.
Not quite as good. Okay, with the pertinence thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire.
No leftovers. No leftovers.
Don't let any of it remain till morning, but if anything does remain, burn it with fire. Okay?
Yeah, no leftovers.
No
They have
leftovers.
garbage disposal, so burn it.
Burn, baby, burn. And ye shall let nothing of it. Oh, and thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded. Oh my. Your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord Bob's Passover.
So you have to have your rod in your hand while you're eating. You have to have your shoes on.
It makes sense. You got as
That's
as all as isn't that what all guys do? They eat with their
That's a
they hold it
difficult
and eat.
with the shoes. Yeah, especially.
Eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, your staff in your hand. Eat it quickly. It's God's Passover.
Maybe like a birthday hat on with like a red clown nose and clown shoes and
Honk a honk. All right. For I will pass throughout the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment.
because
I
they're
am the
real.
Lord. Wow.
Because their gods are real.
Because their gods are real. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And where I see the blood, I will pass over you. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of New York. As I pass over Egypt, I will see the blood on your doorposts, and I'll pass over you. That way, I'll know not to kill your firstborn men or animals, because I'm not all-knowing and not all-powerful.
Right,
So
yeah.
I need you to go do something.
Yeah, because I didn't know that was you guys living there. I thought that was an Egyptian house. You didn't have the blood over the door. I'm sorry about that.
Whoopsie. I'm Yahweh, but I'm not a deity. Or I guess I'm a deity, but I'm not all-powerful. Then again, no one said deities had to be all-powerful. That is a new...
If you want the complaint department, talk to Lucifer about that. Go see him.
Talk to
in
Lucifer.
The complaint department.
Exactly. Who doesn't exist yet? Once again, there was just the snake. I'm trying to give the Jews as much credit as I can because Yahweh is really a dick in the Old Testament. So I have to put some ice on after giving out that many burns. Okay. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. Okay, I did say that. Okay, so we're at Passover laws. Dun, dun, dun. Passover laws. So we have some good hilarity, because why is God doing this? To begin with, It's intolerant because he's only choosing one group of
There you
people
go. Also,
and not the others. It's intolerant or unjust, but also we love our violence. Gotta get a good helping of violence. Because where would the Bible be without its biblical family values?
violent
Remember.
family values.
Yes, exactly. We need to have violent family values. So it's cute, but violent. Violent, but cute. So works out in the end. I think anyway.
Praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus. Praise
I am that I am.
what
I am
did
that I
he
am.
am that I am? I think Aunt Jer said that. Exactly. I am that I am. Sheol or whatever. Well, I forget what his other names are. Jealous and all this other stuff.
Jehovah.
Jehovah, Yahweh. So we're talking
El Shaddai.
El
El
Shaddai
Shaddai.
glasses. El Shaddai, baby. Passover laws. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord Bob throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by any ordinance forever. And ever. That's right, kitty. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread for the first day until the 7th, that thou shalt be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be in I was going to say unholy and holy concoction. And in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only be made unto you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. I get it. You like unleavened bread. Is this matzah? Are we talking about matzah?
They are talking about matzah.
I mean, I like matzah, but
I do. Matzah's good. I've eaten a couple pieces in my day, but this is kind of like the matzah industry just kind of inserted this in there,
See, the thing about matzah is that it's so plain that it goes well with other stuff. Sometimes you want something plain so that you put it with a jam or a butter. So I like that. I'll take that, and I'll take not celebrating the deaths of firstborn Egyptian sons. It's a trade-off.
Don't forget the animals.
And the animals, I know.
The animals.
The other animals. Keep on. Yes.
16.
16. And speaking of other animals, my kitty may start scratching in a second. I think they want foodsies. And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation. And in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, and they may be only done to you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For in this selfsame day that I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt, therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread. We get it, unleavened bread. Until the 12th day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whoever eateth that which is leavened, even the soul shall be cut off from the congregation. That escalated quickly. Of Israel Shmishmael, whether he be stranger or born in the land. Ye shall eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. God.
So I'm getting the idea that he doesn't want them to eat leavened bread.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm getting that idea. I don't know if I'm reading it into the text or maybe
It
I'm
was the
forcing it.
hint.
I'm getting the idea he doesn't want to beat leaven for that period of time.
Yeah, it's the little things. I feel like it's just the little details. They were very subtle about it, and that's what I like about the Bible. Very subtle. And okay, well, God continues talking to Moses. This day shall be a memorial to you. You must keep it by law forever, unless you form a new religion, in which case ignore it, because that would be kind of a hassle. For 7 days you must eat unleavened bread, and you must remove all leaven from your houses. Whoever eats unleavened bread during this time must be cut off from Israel. There will be holy convictions on the first and seventh days. No one may do any work on these days. See, creating a Sabbath? Is that what this is?
Kinda, yeah.
Sounds like the
I don't know.
creation of Sabbath.
Ask Mr. Batman, because Mr. Batman would have said to you quick before, "Well, I'm a Torah observant Christian." So yeah.
Oh, is he?
I keep on. Yeah, he's Torah observant.
A Torah observant. That reminds me of the debater last night.
Messianic Jew.
The Messianic Jew. I always find them funny. I know Jews get triggered by Messianic Jews and all that stuff. Since I'm an ex-Jew, I'm like, I don't care. Take them.
Just another strain of Christianity.
All silly to me. So to put like one box here and one box here, I can't say one is more. I can't look at the Jew and the Christian and say, well, and then the Messianic Jew or whatever in the third, and say, well, you two are very normal, but this one guy, the hybrid or whatever the hell he wants to call himself,
it's like weird. A flat earther versus a hollow earther versus a convex earther.
Yeah, you guys have to solve that problem. We're all over here saying you're all wrong, but we love you.
Come to the round earth. Come to the round earth. We're waiting for you.
We're waiting. And okay, we're going to be getting through the end of this chapter, and then the floodgates are open. We'll be opening open mic, and I'll be sending the link into chat. So, then Charlton called for all the elders of Israel Shmishmael and said unto him, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. Moses called the elders and said to them, each family must select and kill a lamb. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out of the door of his house until the morning. And they must take a hyssop and dip it in the lamb's blood and smear it to the top of the sides of the door. Lovely. For the Lord Bob will pass through to smite the New Yorkians. And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord Bob will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in onto your houses to smite you. Did he just call himself the destroyer? Because God will pass through and kill the Egyptians, but when he sees the blood on the doorpost,
he refers to it as himself, but most Christians would say he sent like the angel of death.
Oh, much better. Way better.
The angel of death, yeah.
Then it's fine.
God's executioner.
Gotta have that violence, baby. Good old violence. And it shall come to pass when ye come to the land. And ye shall observe this thing for accordance to thee and to thy sons forever.
How long?
Forever.
Like ever and ever? Ever?
Forever?
Ever?
Forever?
Okay.
Forever? Oh. And it shall come to pass when ye come to the land which the Lord will give you, the Lord Bob will give you, according as he has promised, that ye shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass when your children say unto you, What mean ye by this service? That ye shall say it is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel Shmishmael in New York, when he smote the New Yorkians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed the head and worshipped? And the children of Israel Shmishmael went away and did as the Lord Bob had commanded Charlton and Aaron Ra, so did they. When your children ask you, why are you doing this? You will say to them, because God passed over our houses when he was killing Egyptians and didn't kill any of us. Yeah. He picks and chooses. Is that what you're trying to say?
But he does it justly.
But he does it justly. Yeah, I hate the whole how should I say this? God's chosen people. I despise the concept of goy.
To the Gentiles, yeah.
It is the one saying that I'll paraphrase from Jesus: is there is no Jew or Gentile. There is just facts. So I'll modify it. There's
That's
just us. Just
that's what Jesus was. It was Jews who saw problems and things they didn't like in Judaism and Jewish culture. So they wrote a story about somebody who came to change some of those things.
Well, it makes sense.
Make it more tolerant.
Religion is naturally not flexible to change. Generally, not always, but generally speaking, most religions seem to be non-flexible to change. And so really the only way to have any change is to not say that something was wrong, but to come up with something new.
And for God himself to be the one who comes down and gives this new revelation. If he was just a guy, they wouldn't, But because it's God.
Just a guy. Yeah, Jay says that's the first thing that led me to deconstructing my faith, the concept of a chosen people.
Yeah. Arbitrarily selected people. Yeah.
It's another thing I didn't even think about in Hebrew school. You just get told this stuff. You see like the picture of Israel and you're like, okay, Israel, whatever. It's not a good concept. More division when we need to really come together. Also, that's what she said.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. God's warming up.
Are you ready
cooking
for Yahweh to be as moral as humanly possible?
Can you smell what God is cooking?
Can you smell what the Yahweh is cooking? All right.
I pity the fool who don't have lamb's blood on their door. I pity that fool.
So we have, of course, some violence, because you wouldn't want, what would a plague be without violence? And I think this is the famous violent one. So we got to go all the way. We've been violent, but we haven't been ultra violent. Good clockwork.
Not since the flood. Not since the flood has he been this violent.
Yes, not since the flood. Where he was kind of getting bored, I think. He was like locusts and flies and boils. I kind of want to kill someone.
The fucking frogs, damn it.
Fucking frogs. It turns out that humans are really resilient, and everything I send at them, they kind of just get around somehow or just adjust to it. You know what they can't adjust to? Me fucking killing them.
Being dead.
Being dead. Okay, so we have some intolerance because he's killing. Once again, there are God's people and there are not God's people.
There are people with blood on their doorpost and people without blood on their doorpost.
It's not us reading it into it either. Like he's good. That it seems to be the frigging moral of the story.
Have blood over your doorpost.
and blood over your doorposts.
And maybe God won't come in and kill people.
Which, by the way, once again, none of this is very just. I am waiting for that just God to show up and judge this God. And of course, once again, what the hell did all of the firstborn Egyptian sons do? What did babies do to deserve death again? I'm trying to understand.
The same thing the babies at the flood did. They were all little Hitlers.
They all were little
Hitlers. As we were told yesterday.
They deserved it. They were murderers and rapists. They were the most horrible babies you had ever met. They basically were just going around just like with guns, even though guns weren't invented yet. It was amazing.
Yeah, sticks or rocks,
Sticks and rocks. The whole
God had to intervene, and thankfully he did, because we don't. They were assholes back then. Thankfully, we don't have that problem today.
Would have been terrible. Exactly.
Thankfully, we don't have assholes running around hurting people and doing shit today.
It's why life is good now. Exactly.
And we have only God to thank. Only God to thank for it.
Only God. Thank you, Yahweh.
Glory to God.
And if you think we're being serious, then I guess this ball has everything to say, because we have some good old hilarity. And of course, we're being consistent with itself.
This is a buffet.
I think I'm going to switch over. I got two versions of these. I think I'm going to switch over to the purple one. Be like a twisted Bible.
The purple one?
Yeah, I got the purple one.
Normalizing purple Bibles?
Yes, I'm not even joking. There are two Bibles. It came with a brown one and a purple one. This one looks more like the Bibles that the people read.
The maroon Bibles are really Bibles. Just ugly, and but if the devil steals your black Bible, you might end up having to have a maroon Bible. So that happened to me once. I thought the devil stole my one of my nice Bibles, so I had to use an ugly one, but it turns out I just misplaced it. So I guess I owe the devil an apology for that.
See, this is like a twisted one. Good purple Bible.
Yeah. I mean, I do owe the devil an apology because I accused him of stealing my Bible and I just misplaced it. But he's evil, so he's not going to get an apology. He's not going to get one.
It's okay that when you have magic, you don't need an apology. You can just do whatever you want. All right. And of course, it's contradicting itself. Lots of fun. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The 10th plague.
Like the fireworks.
God kills all the Egyptian firstborn children.
Pop the champagne.
Because why the frig not? And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all...
At midnight.
At midnight. That's midnight specifically. At midnight ranting. He was trending just like like us. He was doing the same shtick. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord Bob smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh Bling Bling III that sat on his throne. I'm reading it and I'm making light of it, and these people didn't exist, so I shouldn't get upset.
Yeah,
but it's just such a horrible.
Still
it is,
vile,
but it's so hard.
Disgusting. Yeah.
To imagine that now he's gonna kill his son. It was just one thing when you're just dealing with the adults. I don't know why. There is something just a little bit. I make all these jokes about saving the kids. This is fucked up. This is whatever. Pharaoh Bling Bling III that sat on his throne onto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon and all the firstborn of the cattle. At midnight, God killed all of the firstborn children and cattle in Egypt. It is exactly like it says.
I prefer midnight ranting to midnight
I
smoting.
do too. And
Midnight
Pharaoh,
smoting is, yeah.
midnight smoting. And Pharaoh, bling bling the third, rose up in the night, and all his servants, and all the New Yorkians, that there was a great cry in New York, for those were not a house where there was not one dead. There was a great cry, as you would if all of your children were dying, throughout Egypt, because there wasn't a single house in which there wasn't one dead child. And he called for Charlton and Aaron Ra by night, and said, Rise up and get you forth from among my people, both ye and the children of Israel Shmishmael, and go serve the Lord Bob, as ye have said. The Pharaoh called Moses and said to him, Get up and get out of Egypt. Go serve God like you said you wanted to. Who's going to defeat him, though? That's really... I'm hoping there's a third chapter at the end of this where the villain gets defeated. Also, take your flocks and your herds, as ye have said, and be gone, and bless me also. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people, and they might send them out of the land in haste. For they said, We be all dead men. And the people took their dough before it was leavened. Oh, good, we have matzah.
They took their dough.
We got our matzah. Good,
With gold and
good.
silver.
With our gold and silver. That we specifically stole. We didn't even... It didn't even say gather all of your gold and silver. It said steal.
No, steal it. Yeah.
I've never even heard half of this stuff, because I guess there's so much minor details, but
I mean, it does kind of get lost in all the killing and everything, but yeah.
A little bit. Bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children, and take all your children and animals with you. Leave now, and bless me too. Don't forget to bless me.
Bless you.
Bless you. And the children of Israel Shmishmael did according to the word of Charlton, and they borrowed of the New Yorkians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and remnant. And the Lord Bob gave the people favor in the sight of the New Yorkians.
See, look how the text says borrowed, but they're taking the gold and leaving, so that's stealing. And
it did say steal, I believe, in the earlier chapter.
They say the Bible says borrow, but yeah, they're it means steal because you're borrowing something and then you're leaving.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to borrow. Let me borrow this.
Hey,
and then I'll never see you again.
Are you stealing?
No, I'm just borrowing it forever.
Permanently. Forever.
I'll give it back to you in the next life.
Give it back to you in the next life. Exactly.
36.
Excuse me. And the Lord Bob gave the people favor in the sight of the New Yorkians. So they lent unto them such thing as they required, and they spoiled the New Yorkians. The Israelites followed Moses and God's instructions, steal jewels and clothing from the Egyptians. Hey, it seems like some random people passed out on the side of the street. Maybe we should take their clothes and jewels.
Yeah, they're not going to need it anymore. All the people that God killed. Just take the clothes off their backs, take the money out of their pockets, and yeah, as you would do.
As you would do. The Israelites begin their exodus from Egypt, which is going to probably be our next Bible study. So look forward to the journey into into Exodus, out of Exodus.
Here we get a number here. We get a number. The Bible likes to give, rarely likes to give.
Yeah, because once you give numbers, then you can pin things down. And of course, since they have numbers, we have to bring up our biblical creation science over here going on, which of course is hilarious. All right. The Israelites begin their exodus from Egypt. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot. Succoth. 600. Exactly. It's about 600,000 on foot that were men besides children. And mixed
women, we're not even gonna.
We don't need to count our livestock, James.
Yeah.
And mixed the multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle, even very much. Even the women. And they bake unleavened cakes of dough.
It must include the women with the animals, because they didn't say women anywhere else. So I'm going to assume that's with the cattle.
Yeah. And hi. Do I drunk? I'm not. That'd be nice. Do I look drunk? The mixed multitude up with
Yahweh's a little blood drunk in this
hi, Jamie.
chapter.
Welcome. And they bake unleavened cakes from the dough, which they brought forth out of Egypt, for it was not leavened, because they were thrust out of Egypt, and could not tarry. Neither had they prepared for themselves any victual. The Israelites left Egypt with 600,000 men, holy moly, a multitude of farm animals, and lots of unleavened bread. They didn't have time to make it leavened since they were in such a hurry leaving Egypt. Woohoo!
Well, so buy matzah for every Passover. You have to buy matzah because they didn't have time to do it. So the matzah companies will thank God for it.
I feel like eventually even I would get bored of the matzah, though. As much as I love matzah, he seems to have a thing for it. Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. Israelites were and it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsome day, it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. It is the night.
Yeah. Exact same day, the 430th anniversary. There we go.
It is the night to be much observed unto the Lord for bringing them out of the land of Egypt. This is the night of the Lord to be observed for all of the children of Israel in their generations. The Israelites were in Egypt for 430 years. Are they saying this is how long they were slaves?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have some evidence of that outside of the Bible.
You'd think in 430 years they would have left a trace or one little piece of evidence, but
little bit.
The Egyptians were just that good at getting rid of it all. Scrubbing the evidence.
And intolerance has been off the charts tonight, but that's
more Passover laws, because you can never have too many, right?
Never.
More arbitrary rules, because why?
You know how many? I feel like we need 600. Any less, and I feel like why even have any at all? Oh my goddess, are we really gonna read 600 laws? That's whew.
I mean, we've already gotten to a few. I'm sure we've gotten to a few.
We can do it.
Yeah.
All right, more Passover laws. Because you can never have too many. Oh, I love you, Skeptic's Annotated Bible. Keeping us sane. All right, so we have injustice and intolerance. And the Lord Bob said unto Moses, Charlton Heston, and Aaron Ra, this is the ordinance of the Passover. Again? Come on, Yahweh.
Forever
and ever. There shall be no stranger eat thereof, But every man's servant that is brought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. A foreigner and an hired servant, slavery, shall not eat thereof.
A servant bought for money. Huh. What do we call that?
We call that slavery. God said to Moses, "This is my law. No stranger or foreigner may eat the Passover, but circumcised slaves are okay."
You have to circumcise them, though.
Got it. Cut that schmizzle drizzle.
46.
Okay. In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth out the flesh abroad the house, neither shall ye break a bone thereof. All of the congregation of Israel shall keep it. Don't break any bones of the animal that you kill on Passover. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to the Lord Bob, let all his males be circumcised. All right, guys, get in line. And
even the animals.
Even the animals. Oh my! What a day! And then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land. For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof.
That would be just terrible.
That would be terrible. We can't have that. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. Thus did all the children of Ishmael, as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And it came to pass the selfsame day that the Lord did bring the children out of the land of Egypt. Wow. So much wisdom, I have to say.
He doesn't want to see one uncircumcised dick. He doesn't want to see not one. He will be so mad.
Yeah, because you need to have some foreskin popcorn.
You don't put foreskin on there, then you have to cut it off. He designed it to be cut off.
He designed it, exactly. And okay, everyone, we are now going to be having a chapter review, but also we're opening up the floodgates.
The floodgates of hell.
Woohoo! So I'll be sending the link below, and let's get into the fun. All right, I'll be sending that into chat. But what do you think, James? Have you harvested a lot of wisdom?
I mean, yeah. I feel like they're going to make a movie about this one day. I know I got that impression before, but, sometimes Bible prophecy pans out. Sometimes it doesn't, but I think this time it's going to work. But God rescued his people. He rescued his people. He probably could have gotten that done like way sooner if he hadn't hardened the Pharaoh's heart, but he was having a good time. So, time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies when you're having fun. And all right, the link is both sent into chat.
Who's he talking about? Who's the big man? Is that Donald? Is that
I don't know. Everybody, be the big man or woman, whoever.
Stretch out my rod, Titan.
And I should have pinned the Discord link, but go check out our Discord. I'll get that link, or Titan, go get that link, and I'll also pin that or send that back up on the screen, because we will be heading there after the show. And all right, and so with that, Donald, we have been Skeptic Bible studying destruction, darkness, and death. Oh my. How are you, and what have been your thoughts tonight on what we've been reading?
All kinds of thoughts. Did you see that shirt? Did you see that last comment I threw in there?
Hold on, I'll look now. So they're supposed to circumcise the animal's bone without breaking. I don't know what they're trying to do, but I would not want to be the animal or the person doing it. Let me tell you.
Earlier, what was it? They're talking about killing all the firstborn of beasts.
Yeah.
I mean, are they supposed to? What's that?
I remember with the flood, he killed all the animals too. So why would this be any different, right?
But this is humans having to figure out which ones were the firstborn of beasts. And you know how Yahweh is. I mean, he's going to get mad at them for everyone that they mistakenly think was a firstborn because they weren't supposed to kill that. And everyone that
God
they mistakenly think wasn't a firstborn because they were supposed to kill that one.
God will just sort it out. He'll kill the firstborn. They don't have to worry about all that.
Okay. I thought he was ordering the people to do that.
No, he came down personally and did it.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
Yeah, he seems to be coming down and taking action to his own hands in the Old Testament.
Was that the one where he supposedly had the angel of death do it or something like that?
Or him, yeah.
Or him, depending which translation you're reading and whatever. Okay, yeah, I missed something there.
And so what do you think, Donald? I mean, we just got through the later half of the 5 plagues, and let me tell you, it was worse than I thought.
Well, you know what they say. You want evidence of God? Look at the plagues.
Hail, boils, death.
Yeah. I mean, just look at all the nasty, evil things in the world, and everything is evidence of their God because he created all that nonsense supposedly. But then again, you can claim anything to have created all that nonsense. You do the same thing. Look at the trees. Therefore my imaginary friend trees, George, or look at the trees. Therefore the this turtle created everything.
Look at this beautiful dumpster behind Wendy's. Look at all the flies and the pestilence and
yeah. Therefore the tooth fairy.
Look at Skid Row. Look at all the people laying out there praising God.
It's just as much a non sequitur, when people say, look at the trees, therefore God, as if you were to say, look at the flies swarming around the trash cans, therefore the tooth fairy.
Yeah, holds about as much sway.
The flies at least are connected to God somehow. He doesn't like trees. He sent the locusts to eat the trees. He killed all the trees in the flood. He's not a big fan of trees. Jesus killed a fig tree.
Yeah, he seems to have problems with trees. Adam and Eve.
I went through 9 episodes of inviting gods onto my series, and they never showed up. So
they never showed up. Oh.
Where's the evidence? That's what I'd like to see. The actual evidence of a god, not the evidence of stuff, because the stuff could have been made by I don't know, nature.
Now let me ask you this, Donald.
Physics,
if you had done your episode, and all of a sudden God zapped, and there's like 100 frogs all over your apartment there, what would you have thought about that?
Yeah, I would have thought about it. I wouldn't have known what caused it. I mean,
frogs.
if somebody, yeah, I'd probably figure it had something to do with frogs. Frogs generally come from other frogs, but if somebody had come on my show and said that, that they were a god and they were going to demonstrate that they were a god by having my apartment suddenly be full of frogs, and it happened like right then, they might have actually convinced me.
Even in your toaster oven, or even in your bathtub.
Yeah, that wouldn't tell me that they were good. It wouldn't tell me anything else about them. But would it tell me that they seem to have some sort of magical powers? Sure.
Even when you sit on the toilet,
if somebody wants to call that a god,
a frog's gonna jump out.
But by that definition, Darren Brown is a god.
Those poor froggies.
Yeah.
And okay, we're going to jump back into open conversation in a minute. But hello, Jay Mixon. We're having a Skeptic Bible Study, Destruction, Darkness, and Death.
Welcome back, Jay. Good to see you again.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, likewise. Hey, yeah. I kind of hit on it during the discussion, and so just to give you a quick background, I was born and raised in the church. It was an extreme Pentecostal movement, but it goes by the holiness, so holiness churches. And
It wasn't a snake church, was it?
Oh no! It wasn't a snake church. However, we did criticize those type of churches because they were misguided.
You mean the snake
okay.
handlers?
So not that extreme.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not meaning not that much extreme, just not that particular extreme.
Right. Yeah. Not in that direction. But yeah, you know what? One of the things that kind of led me to deconstructing my own faith when I was involved in it was doing a deep dive, or I would say reading the Bible from an objective point of view. And one of the things, and I would start off saying the Old Testament is horrible, but one of the things that really just gets to me is that when I read it, it was so obviously written by, humans.
Men and women. Yeah.
It was
men.
It was or men. And one of the things that sticks out, and even with the review tonight, it's the obsession with penises. Like, no spoiler alert, but when an Israelite king collects a bag of 200 foreskins, and when God gets upset because the Israelite women enjoyed nations with penises that were great of flesh, and things like that, it just baffles me that a God who's so powerful that he can initiate the creation of everything we know in a single point of time, to be so concerned with the penis. That's just incredible to me.
But he hates gay people. He hates gay people, but he is obsessed with penis.
Well, you know why he hates gay people, right? Because
can't make more followers.
He disagrees of their placement of the penis. That's his alt with gay people. Yeah. So
misusing their penis.
Yeah. I can't. You can create the heavens and the earth, but don't put your penis in a place that I don't agree with. Yeah, that's
know how egotistical Yahweh is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just saying that's probably where his obsession with dicks comes from, because he kind of is one.
And I will say the
my God hands, huge hands.
I just want to say the Matt Dillahunty joke, which is I completely forgot it. I just lost my train of thought. That's okay. What were you? What were you saying?
Matt Dillahunty joke about
penises, which is it might be a suggestion. When he means a man may lie with another woman, he just means you got to lift up higher. There we go.
Oh wow, yeah. Because he does sit on high, so that would that makes
stretch out thy rod over the land.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And okay, so these aren't very nice plagues.
He was
the last
mean.
5.
You're saying he was being mean?
He was being mean. Also, D Freak, I see you behind stage. It's not quite loading you up, but I see you behind there.
It says no, his camera and mic have problems. You probably didn't authorize them in the browser.
That's okay.
And with that being said, I am going to jump off because I don't want to feel compelled to join in with the discourse between the Freak and Donald. I would.
You're quite welcome to, in my opinion.
And Jay, It was just nice having you on.
Yeah, it's great to have you on again. We'll see you anytime you want to come on.
Yeah,
With my
absolutely.
lovely
Thank you.
strawberry.
If you leave and you feel compelled to join in, come on back.
Come back on.
Okay, we'll do. I'll promise you that. I'll be in the chat though, listening.
Okay,
All right.
and I
Have
have
a good night, Jay.
And I'm going to be right back for just 1 second. So I'll let you guys, I'll bring it back up onto the full screen so everyone could talk. But yeah,
So we could just continue praising God.
praising the Jeebus.
Continue praising the Lord, yeah.
So
the Lord.
my question,
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord.
my question to you guys, and I'll be listening, is how do they reinterpret this? What is the wisdom of this story supposed to be, or how do they sell it to the Christians and Jews? How is it?
God, I mean, they really look at it as like an epic story. God rescuing his people, God taking action, and getting his people out of Egypt. I mean, he's also the God who got them into Egypt to begin with, but that was all part of his plan.
There's that. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff in there, but basically, what it all boils down to is, do what the people speaking on behalf of God tell you to, because God is powerful and will do bad things to you if you don't.
He will do mean things to you if you
don't. It doesn't matter whether he's real or not. Just that bad things will happen to you if you don't do what you're told to by the people who claim to be speaking on behalf of,
listen to Charlton
the evil monster in the sky, or wherever he happens to be, depending on what point of the history that was. Because he started out as a volcano god, and then he became a fire god, and eventually he became a sky god. And from there he started turning into an everything god, and so that's why people say, well, you want evidence of God, just look at anything and there's evidence of God. So yeah, look at the plagues.
Yeah. Now he lives in an alternate dimension that you could never actually see anyway, so you can never prove he's not there. They just repackage the claims.
You can only ever
can't be.
You can only ever see the stuff that he supposedly made way back at the beginning and has never apparently made sense, because all that stuff, makes itself now. Dirt makes itself. Plants make themselves. Animals make themselves. I mean, planets make themselves. So
basically, Donald, you believe in the beginning dirt, and I believe in the beginning God.
Well, I believe in the beginning physics, and still physics.
Physics.
Yes, physical reality.
Sounds pretty complicated.
Physical reality has made physical stuff.
You've got physics.
I've never known a non-physical anything to do something
Amy,
without having to manipulate physics to do it.
James,
and a non-physical God,
you're about to say,
a non-physical God that doesn't seem to be able to do anything at all, it seems identical to one that's non-existent.
Amy's got a magic wand to fix that, Donald. She's got two, in fact.
Yeah, the one's top and one's below. Lots of magic wands. All right.
I ain't going there.
That's okay. Yeah, I normally have to ask for a dinner date first. And speaking of that
works.
On our Skeptic Bible Study,
destruction,
darkness, and death.
The Destroyer?
Oh, my.
I can just see it. You're talking to Harry Potter and would you like to see my wand? He's like, but you haven't even taken me out to dinner yet.
I know. And hey, this is Harry Potter's wand, a lovely recreation. I'm getting my cosplay on. But I was going to say, speaking of cosplay, that's really an atheist thing. I feel bad giving that tagline when a theist comes in. Speaking of Bible studies, to freak. How are you, and what are your thoughts?
If you got some real magic, you can go back in time and watch Yahweh stretch out his stick.
Praise God.
Hi, to freak.
How are you?
Not hearing you.
He might not be able.
Is your mic working? Are you muted? Maybe
that's okay. Or he may be working on it.
Might be working on it.
Were you
Twisting
having
the
some back and
wires.
forth with him in the chat, Donald?
What's that? Oh,
Were you having some
well,
back and forth in the chat? No, we
I
can't hear
responded to
you.
a few things. Yeah. You know, we're talking a bit to each other in there as well as other people.
There he is.
Woohoo!
Oh,
You got a picture now. Is your audio working? Nope, still
Not-
can't hear you. I see your lips moving.
We're close though.
That's something. I don't
He's
read
got
lips well enough to
a
figure out what you're
Reebok
saying,
hat.
but it's a start.
I'm gonna rip again.
What now?
Yeah, there we
Yes.
go.
We hear
Good.
you.
A
Yeah,
good
what's the
2000s
sound?
joke.
Yeah, want evidence of God? Look at the technical glitches.
But how are you,
All
the
right.
freak?
Hey, I'm good. I enjoy your show.
Your picture
Thank
went
you
away
so
again,
very
just so you know.
much.
Yeah, I'm a little rough right now, so I don't want to embarrass myself.
Hey, no,
Oh, okay.
But you saw me on Aaron's show or that one atheist guy. He's always on Sunday. You saw me on his show the other time.
Was that Tart? Or
Don't know.
Tart, Aaron, or Atheist Experience?
Yeah, Aaron.
Aaron. Okay, Aaron's
Ara?
amazing. Woohoo!
oh, he is amazing.
In fact, he's in the Bible, apparently. We've been watching him.
I think I've watched the majority of Aaron's videos, but I'm not real good at recognizing people. Sometimes it takes me a while because I tend to recognize people by personalities more than anything else, and that takes time. Looks don't really mean a heck of a lot to me.
But that's okay. As
Well,
sexy
yeah,
as Aaron
yeah.
Ra is, the freak, what are your thoughts about the last 5 plagues of the Old Testament or of the story?
That wasn't the last one.
Well, he said
They're the-
he did what he said he was going to do. I mean, just like when he was here as the Lord, he healed people from sickness and disease and stuff like that. That's how he, that's what the curse is when you get plagues and stuff. And he told Pharaoh it was going to happen, and it's still he didn't listen. And what happened?
Well, he did have to step in a few times and make sure Pharaoh wasn't going to listen to him, but
He gives every single person every single chance to accept Jesus Christ.
Is that sort of like, when the Cheshire Cat warned Alice about something and, then he turned out to be right?
Well, I feel bad talking over your intro. Do you want me to pull it? Can we pull it back, or you don't mind? You tell me. If not, I'll put it back on your intro. But you said Jesus Christ, but we're not even up there. There is no guy named Jesus yet.
Well, wait. What was the question again?
Oh no.
About the plagues and stuff?
Yeah, what you
yeah.
thought about the
So
story that
we
the Bible
are-
just gave about the plague.
We
Right.
we broke our Bible study into 2 parts. We got through the first 5 plagues, and now we're doing the latter 5 plagues. And I guess, what are your thoughts on just this? How about the story of Moses? Or
Do you think it was real? Do you think the plagues were justified? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think it's real. I mean, I can't judge God. Do I think they're justified? He's God. I'm not. It's on him. It's not me to worry about.
Well, the Bible says, "Know ye not that you'll judge angels?"
But he had to differentiate himself and his revealing on earth a specific way in order for people to have another sign that it's Jesus Christ.
But this is the Old Testament. There was no Jesus Christ in the Old Testament.
I understand what you're saying, but in other words, he had to do specific things in order to basically say, this is the nation, these are the people in which I will reveal myself in the earth.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I can see where you'd be coming from there. Correct me if I'm misunderstanding this, but
just like Hebrew is the only language from antiquity that's still used and is alive today. Everything else is dead and gone.
That's far from true. Actually, the Hebrew that is a living language now is a constructed language that was based on the Hebrew in the Bible.
Well,
The
you're talking about Yiddish?
the actual living Hebrew language that it came from is now a dead language.
Yiddish is a different thing altogether.
Yeah,
Well,
Yiddish is.
that's
I have to
there
dispute
are-
that
language.
because the Dead Sea
And there are-
Scrolls.
And there are very old living languages.
Well, let him finish.
Yeah. Well, but none of them are active. None of them are used. None of them are alive. They're all dead languages. And plus, the Dead Sea Scrolls actually show that the Hebrew of now
I did say
is
living languages. There are very old living languages currently.
There's only one active language from antiquity that survived.
Not true.
That's used and survived.
Not true. Look up
everything
Why
else
don't you give an
is,
example?
Everything else is history.
Just
Is
look up
a
linguistic
part of history.
And so I'm going to give DeFreak a response, and then Jay Mixon is back. So, DeFreak, did you want to have it sounded like you were about to say something. If not, we'll just head over to Jay. That's okay.
I hope everyone heard what I said, so go ahead.
Sounds good. Jay, welcome back. We're having our Skeptic Bible Study, Destruction, Darkness, and Death. Oh, my.
Hey,
Did you have something new on your mind?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I wanted to kind of jump in, I guess, during the discourse, but I guess my main thing is that I don't want to feel as if I don't want the freak to feel as if we're kind of ganging up on him. So I'll just fall back for now and let you all kind of talk.
Pile in. I mean, I'm here, so.
I always feel bad when it's 4 against 1. But that being said, we thank you for being here, DeFreak.
I mean, as long as you're willing to listen and to my answers, then it'll be fine. But sometimes what happens is there's 3 or 4, then everyone starts jamming in, and I can't answer all the questions.
I agree. It can get a little chaotic. But yeah, we could have any questions.
But he
for
growing up in the
DeFreak?
church, he would probably have some questions that I would love to hear from anyway if he's still inclined. If not, I understand. There's a lot to.
If Jay has any questions,
this is a lot.
Yeah, so I do have a question for you. What would you say? Well, let me ask you this. Why are you convinced that the Bible is truly the Word of God versus any other document that came from that era?
I believe because God revealed Himself to me, and that was enough for me to believe that what is the considered the Word of God is true.
How did He reveal that to you?
Oh.
He revealed Himself.
But what did He do to reveal Himself to you?
At that specific time, I was praying.
Did He talk to you, or you just felt like the presence of God, or how did that feel for you?
I was brought right before Him Himself in the spirit realm.
In the spirit realm?
That's right.
Now I'm curious.
Where'd you have this in church, or
how would
where
you
were
know
you?
it was the spirit realm?
Actually, I was in a car with my mother, and I was in the passenger seat praying.
How old were you? When did this happen for you?
It's like 10, 11 years ago.
Okay.
I was 36-ish. And I didn't expect anything, I was praying for other members of my family because I just started to try to become, faithful because I was having issues of my own. So anyhow, I prayed for my family, and next thing you know, I'm standing right before Him. And I freaked out, and so it was a pretty intense experience. I mean, I think about it every day. So once I saw that He was real, and I felt the love of God, I was in His presence. then at that point I knew that the Bible was real because he just revealed himself to me. So that was enough proof for me. I never even owned a Bible until he revealed himself to me. I never owned a Bible or anything.
How would you know that it was the spirit realm you were in and not a hallucination?
Well, because I mean, I've done hallucinogenic drugs and stuff like that before, and at that time I was not doing anything whatsoever. I was pretty much clean, and so I know for a fact that
you do know that people can have flashbacks from
the-
hallucinogens, right?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
yeah, but
people
people
who have taken hallucinogens like ever in their life can have hallucinogenic experiences that can be triggered years later.
Years, yeah.
Well, I mean, those are never as intense as the original,
Not true.
hallucination, but
Not true.
This was
according to the
completely
documentation.
different. I know the difference, and so I mean, I can tell you that this was the most intense thing that ever happened in my life. It wasn't because of any drugs or anything.
Then if it was a hallucination,
I've done drugs.
that would nullify the idea that it couldn't be more intense than when you were actively on the stuff.
Well, I mean, when you have a flashback of your LSD trips or something, it's usually small, like a small wave of visual that you remember from the trip back when.
Right.
It's not anything
Probably
like a whole new
so.
experience.
Usually, probably so, but unusual things do happen. And if you were taken to the spirit realm, wouldn't you consider that also to be an unusual thing?
And so we're gonna let
I know what you're thinking,
respond,
Amy.
and then we're going to add Oz in. Woohoo! And so, DeFreak, have your response. And
Could I say something about the languages? Can I address the age of languages a little bit before we
why?
kick off? Just because a claim was made that Hebrew is the only language,
Okay.
the only living
What other
language.
language? If you want to list in a language that's older,
Well, I just a few of them. I mean, Arabic, for example. Comes from well over 1,000 years ago. Like I think it's like 900 BCE or something like that, at least. Greek.
I agree. I think there
goes back
languages.
a couple of thousand years at least. Aramaic goes back a few thousand years at least.
is anyone
it's still
speak
around.
Aramaic today? Is Aramaic still around?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Speakers of Aramaic.
Yeah, you're right about that.
What's that?
But like Egyptian
He
still
said
isn't.
you're right.
The Assyrian, Sanskrit, whatever the Chaldeans spoke, or the Persians per se, as they were known as Nebuchadnezzar's time. But it's Hebrew that is the only one that made it through, and there's a reason for that.
It is the only, if I'm not mistaken, it is the only living language remaining in the Canaanite family of languages. However, as I mentioned earlier, it's not a language that has been continuously a living language throughout that time. It actually completely died off and had to be reconstructed. And so the Hebrew language that's in use now is not the same language as the one that was used back then.
Okay, but
it may have been resuscitated, but if you look at the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Hebrew that's used now, it's the same. When God spoke to Adam, it was in Hebrew.
That's my point. Is it's not. It can't be.
That doesn't
because we had to use modern interpretations of the Bible to figure out what those words meant.
She wants to go on a new
the Bible were not the original language.
Well, if Hebrew is Hebrew, well then it all checked out. You didn't do what you just said.
You're not understanding. They didn't get the new Hebrew from the old Hebrew. They got the new Hebrew from translations, from modern translations of the old Hebrew, which we're
basically the same.
She doesn't want to go into
the constructed language. So at any rate,
even if I wanted to go down that, my question is, DeFreak, are you trying to say basically that Hebrew survived because it was wholly inspired by God?
I think that was the basic idea.
It's another sign.
I want to strongman it. So is that a
good idea?
It's another sign. It's just one more sign that adds up to nothing.
Or did they?
Wait,
Or there were
wait.
people working to bring it back?
What was that last sentence?
The sign
It's
that
just
adds
one
up to
more
nothing.
sign that adds up to nothing.
Yeah. Well, considering
Wait. What does that mean?
considering that your statement about it
No,
wasn't
hold on,
true,
hold on,
it kind
hold
of does
on.
add up to nothing.
It means
I mean, I'm agreeing
here?
with you,
Are we
but I
getting
feel
trolled,
like
Amy?
I'm
feel like-
trolled.
I'm very trollish.
We're getting trolled here.
I'm very trollish.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'll take it.
Hey,
Welcome.
all right,
hey,
you want
this
another quick
channel
one?
is
Listen,
very
you want
trollish.
another
It's
quick
okay.
one? How about planets aligned? Right?
What about planets aligning?
Planets aligned. Right?
Praise God.
Mayan calendar.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
is this like the conspiracy where they all do the
It's another
the
sign.
thing?
Just
In other
one
words,
more little nothing.
unlikely things are signs.
But what
And
happens
God
when
knew
everything?
about that when you met him in the throne room. He told
He's
you
right.
about
That's how
planets
people
aligning?
tend
What
to do that
happens
sort
when
of stuff.
everything aligns? What's the significance of alignment?
That an unlikely thing
The
happened.
king was born.
Except that it's not unlikely; it's a certainty.
Which king?
It's just unusual.
There was
It's
a king
very
born?
unusual, huh?
Yes.
It's
Did
just
God
another
tell you about that
coincidence.
when you met him?
Adds up to a whole lot of nothing.
I'm not a big fan of kings, I will say, but I'm interested. There was a king born? Is there
Yeah.
a specific? And okay,
Yeah,
we're
unusual.
going down rabbit holes. Let's get on.
Unusual.
Yeah.
Unusual
I
and
did
seemingly
have a
unlikely
question,
events
if you don't
happen
mind.
all the time.
Sure.
Okay, Jay.
So, Jay, and then we're getting some Oz and love.
Hey,
Wizard of Oz.
hey,
Yes, sir.
I hate calling you the freak, but I want to go back to your experience with God because I mean I can personally attest that those type of experiences are very powerful in one's life. As I grew up in the church, I would have things going on in my life that sometimes I just felt like I couldn't reconcile, or just battles that I would be fighting. And there would be times when I would go to church and it feels like the message that was given was just completely tailored to me. And at times I would find myself overwhelmed with a divine experience to the point where I would tear up and even speak in tongues that I have never heard before, or I wouldn't know where they come from. The power in a testimony like that would be an experience, but what gives it more efficacy is the feeling, how you felt about that experience. And so one of the things I just learned just in life is that feelings aren't always reliable. So I could feel very strongly. So say people say there's an adage that blondes are not intelligent. I would say that. And I can feel it in the core of my soul that blonde people are not intelligent, but that says nothing about the truth of the matter. So a personal experience would be relevant to you, but for the purpose of convincing others as a servant of Christ, you're called to do, right? Always have an answer. Always have an answer for the faith and the hope that lies within you. A feeling or a personal experience wouldn't necessarily be effective because we can't share those same experiences. And like I said myself, I even felt that I had those experiences at times in my life. But at this point of time, at this epoch of time, I understand that feelings are feelings. Feelings aren't, empirical data. Feelings aren't indicative of truth. So I just want to kind of hear what you would have to say about that.
Well, yeah, feelings are feelings based on your experience and stuff, but also witnessing through your eyes and witnessing through your ears are also are a discernment or a deconstruct, if you will, of reality, of your experience, of what you witnessed, what you testify to, in truth. And that was my experience. And he asked, how it came to be where I was a believer, basically. And that was how I came. I was like Thomas too. I had to put my finger on the hole before I would believe that it was the Lord. But
Question
he
about
revealed himself to me, and I can't ever say that did not happen to me.
I have a question about that. You
And
had said that you were in the spirit realm. Was your physical body in the spirit realm?
No.
Then how could you be seeing through your eyes and hearing through your ears?
So Defreak
I
is
was
going to
aware.
respond, and then I'm
And then
getting
what-
Oz in here.
But how could your
Bring Oz,
eyes and ears be picking up stuff that's in a realm that your eyes and ears are not in?
And
Because my mind was there, my body was present, but it was in the spirit realm. I wasn't physically, molecularly, subatomically, particled there. I was like
Then-
how John says he was taken
No,
away in the spirit.
Then that doesn't sound to me like you witnessed anything with your eyes or ears. You may have witnessed them with I don't know
More
spiritual
LSD.
eyes and spiritual
All
ears.
right.
But we have no evidence of it
More
being such a
LSD.
thing.
And okay, hold
We're ready
that
for
train of thought.
Oz
We're going to go
from-
back into open discussion in a second. But welcome
Heart.
Oz from
Hi,
the
Oz.
lovely Atheist Round Table. We're having our Skeptic Bible Study, Destruction, Darkness, and Death.
Nice hat.
Oh my. How are you and what are your thoughts?
Well, thank you for having me. And I just want to make sure I'm clear. This is the Amy Newman channel, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so all y'all sons of bitches need to quit talking over her when she's trying to transition. I'll just say that. Anyway,
It's a good word. It's a good word.
anyway, I don't know how psychedelics ever take us to a god. And if anybody's on here saying that, they may or may not be trolling. But if they're not, I would love to have evidence. I would love to have evidence or see evidence, be able to evaluate the evidence that supports a God claim that is substantiated through psychedelics. If we have that, let's present it. If not, let's move on.
Yeah.
I
That
hear
was
people.
its-
Evidence,
I hear
huh?
people
He's
see
asking
all
for
kinds of
evidence.
crazy
That's the
stuff on
sticking point.
DMT, but I've never done it.
I've done lots of DMT.
I've done a good amount of hallucinogens in my life, and I have not met God. So I would love to see the evidence that supports a God claim through the partaking of those products that induce us to hallucinate.
Or through anything else for that matter.
Well, I agree, Dak. But let's drill
Same
down
here.
here.
I agree.
Let's drill
Yeah.
down.
I was completely sober when it happened.
Kumbaya.
But just to be fair, I don't think DeFreak made that claim that he found God through hallucinogens. As a matter of fact, I believe his argument was that he was completely clean and clear of the influence when his spiritual experience happened. So,
And
That's correct.
Defreak, can I ask? So you said you had this experience, which you explained as the Holy Spirit. Was it like overnight? As in, you had this experience, and you're like, "Oh my God, oh my God, I guess I'm a Christian." Like you just the next night you cracked open the Bible, and it was just like,
I was always a suicidal type of person, and so I didn't want to die, and I had a lot of guilt, so I needed forgiveness. And I would watch Christian TV, and they would talk about these things, and they would have testimony about, everyone would testify about this, and that, or whatever. So I just started praying, God, reveal yourself to me. Lord, I want to know if it's you. Lord, I need forgiveness. What I did, I can't live with myself. Will you please come to help me? Will you reveal yourself? Help me, Lord. I'm believing in you. I'm trying. What
And
the
he came in
hell?
on
Where the hell are
you.
you at? And eventually he showed up.
And DeFreak, if you guys could give me a second here, DeFreak,
ahead.
when you say he showed up, what do you mean by he showed up?
Like I said, I was just praying in the car for the well-being of other family members, and next thing I know, I mean, it felt like it almost felt like the warm, they talk about the warm olive oil anointing over your head. And that's what it felt like. And then I felt myself just kind of warm up, and then I was right before him.
Okay, so you kind of you pivoted from one point to another from my two questions. So is it your personal experience and what God revealed to you about you, or about family members and other people?
It was the intention of my heart that draw him near to me, or probably got me to. I don't know. It was the I. In other words, I wanted the best things to happen to my family, and get them out of the trouble they were in or whatever. And that intent is what moved his heart to bring him. I don't know exactly why, but I was there and it happened.
What happened?
Well, I pretty much, was just in awe of his glory, and so much happened, but I just remember, going kind of face down and saying, where basically I thought I was going to hell. I'm like, wherever you put me, that's where I belong, because I knew it was him. I wasn't going to argue. I was going to be like, mercy, and then he let me look at him, and
so you saw him?
I saw the God of Israel. Jesus was there.
Mm.
Actually, he was there shielding me with his garment from his light of the Father, because I would have been disintegrated.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yep.
How did you recognize who was who?
Hold on. So
Yeah,
the freak, as someone that came from 30 plus years of being a evangelical Christian, I actually I find it very insulting what you're doing right now, and I can point you out as being a troll as well, because there's a lot of people that everything you're joking about and you're going through right now, that we've actually had to go through and seek therapy for and all that. So I find it very disingenuous, and I find it very distasteful that you're making very light of all of those things, because those very things that you're talking about, there are many people that are trying to deconstruct and deconvert away from Christianity, that you're literally shitting on their face right now. And I personally don't appreciate that. And if you want to try to pivot now and act like you're not doing that, that's on you. But it was very, very clear through the questioning that I just went through that that's what you're doing. So I will not engage with this person anymore, and we can move on.
See ya. I mean, I think everyone knew when I was coming in that I was a believer, right? That I was going to try and convince you that there was evidence that there was a God, right? Everyone knew that when I came in.
I don't want to speak for anyone, but I think what Oz is saying is that he does not believe that you are a believer based on the things that you've said.
It's obvious.
And and I don't want to draw a conclusion one way or another. I'll speak to the things that you've said, regardless of whether you actually believe them or not. But I would like to know
stuff too.
if you actually do mean the stuff that you're saying. I would like to know, for one, I hope you weren't driving when that thing happened, and second, how would you have known which person in the spirit world was Jesus Christ, or which one was anybody that you've never seen before?
Dak, this is where I'm gonna help you. That's a wasted conversation, because I can tell you, you can say that all day, but going through that line of questioning, I can. It's tried, it's tried and tested and true. This is Troll 101. So if we want to continue,
I'm giving my testimony.
Go that. No, yeah. You're not.
How stupid is this?
It's too. You're way too sporadic, and it's scattered everywhere. So we're good.
Oz, if I can speak to why I would address such things, it's because regardless of whether DeFreak is being sincere or not, there are people out there, as you've mentioned, who have gone through things that very well fit similar descriptions and will recognize those stories as their own story, in a manner of speaking. In some cases, maybe it might look like a bit of a straw man of their story. In other cases, it might be dead on. But the thing is, they may have questions that they might not feel up to coming on here and asking themselves. And they may have things that they might like to say, and see what somebody like one of us would respond to such things. And so if he's sincere, then maybe I'm helping him out with something, and if he's not, maybe I'm helping someone else out.
Or Dak, and I'm always here to protect and respect Amy's channel. Are we wasting Amy's time and the channel's time and doing something where it's the same way they're going to keep going through the revolving door of the same thing over and over and over?
And if Amy wants me to drop it, I'll definitely drop it because it's her channel.
No, you're fine. I mean, it's honestly hard to tell. I would prefer Theus coming on here and being comfortable. It's in an odd position because I remember there are people that troll, like the Atheist Experience Helpline and all sorts of stuff like that. I'll tell you, the theists do it to themselves. They don't need
this is very low-end trolling, though, Amy. This is not even high-end trolling.
Well, there is that idea that what they call a Poe, somebody who's they're not so much just trolling, but they're actually pretending to be something they're not. That if it's been said, and I think quite accurately so, that it's impossible to really tell a Poe from somebody who actually is that bad off.
I'm telling
you're right. You're right. As far as trolling goes, it's low end, but there are actually people who are sincere about such things. And
he also told us he was.
So I'm going to try. I'm going to come here to troll you out of not believing.
Troll us out of not believing.
I'm going to troll you out of not believing. I'm gonna. You're
that
already
wouldn't
not
work.
believers, but I'm going to come here to troll so I can get so I can be found out, so that you wouldn't believe. That's right.
Maybe
not sure.
Come on,
not
man.
sure even how to take that.
Troll on the your channel, Dak. Maybe he wants to come and troll. You can troll one of your streams.
Yeah. You're quite welcome to come on my
come
shows
here and be like, I had this with, I know it. I gotcha. I'm a fake troll, so that you would not believe even more. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
Have you met James? Have you met James?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go completely
I would
topic.
Prefer people be sincere. Just to say that clearly, I would prefer that people be sincere. I like that a lot better than trolling. If somebody wants to troll, well then they shouldn't be surprised if somewhere along the way
there are trolls here, but
anymore.
It's a different kind of.
I'd rather convince you.
Yeah. I'm sure you would.
But
listen, maybe go troll like Praise I Am That I Am or LPP. You have a lot of fun with those guys. Really, you probably would get them going real good.
I don't need my personal testimony to prove God to you, though. That's the thing.
Okay, well,
so you don't have to go that route if you don't want to. If that makes everyone,
I'm done with him.
Actual evidence is much
you're
more.
You're gonna get in here, Blaster Master.
And if
it's gonna happen,
if you are sincere in any way about any of the stuff that you've said, really none of that is gonna convince somebody with a healthy skepticism that your God is real, because none of it is evidence that your God exists. It's not evidence to someone else. It might be evidence to you, because if you've actually experienced that, then you actually have gone through that. But even then, like I said, you really would have no way to know whether
there's
you
still enough
hallucinated
evidence
or,
to get you
or
to
what.
the door.
What's that?
There's still plenty of evidence to get you to the door, but it's like
but
Matrix. You got to walk through it.
Then show us some of it, any of it.
No, just
show us any of it.
Whoa.
It's
do you know that they found? Do you know that they found Sodom and Gomorrah?
It's Amy's channel.
They found Sodom and Gomorrah. That's amazing.
How about Mount Sinai?
I'm sorry, this is the worst transition ever.
Amy,
but speaking
they found
of
Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's go there.
And everyone died.
Yes, there are
How
places.
are you doing tonight?
Yes, there are places.
Hello.
We are Skeptic Bible Study. We're having a great time talking about destruction, darkness, and death. Oh my. How are your thoughts?
His name is
Well,
hidden
how
there
are
by
you,
the.
and how are your thoughts?
Blaster Master.
His name is hidden
My
by the. Don't forget to
thoughts.
Blaster
like
Master.
and
Well,
Let me ask
There
you
you
a
go.
question really fast.
Hi.
Let me
first
ask
of
a
all.
question really fast. What happens to you when you die? Exactly the moment you
Yeah.
take your last breath.
No,
You
we're
stop breathing.
talking to Blaster Master now.
and
I-
you stop living.
I'll go down that rope.
And
but
what,
Blaster
Well,
blank screen,
Master-
right?
I've had
Oh my
family
God.
members that have woken up in a morgue.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah, it
So-
happens.
And they say
I had
nothing. There was
aunt
nothing
that
there.
woke up, or a cousin of mine that an aunt, sorry, that woke up in a morgue one time.
And they tell you
the
nothing was
doctors
there. It
thought
was
she
all a
was
blank
dead.
screen.
It depends on the
Well,
person.
Empty tomb.
It depends
She
very
had,
much on what they
she
believe when it
has
happens.
cerebral palsy and stuff. She has a bunch
Oh,
of
see,
problems,
that
health
makes sense.
problems.
And hold on, we can get back to that subject, but last 5 plagues, we've had a lot of destruction. Everyone wasn't having a great time in Egypt.
Five place.
What are
The
your
plagues
thoughts?
are the worst.
Yeah.
I like.
What was your favorite
grasshoppers.
one?
Oh, Pharaoh pulled a switch every time.
The bugs, the insects are my favorite.
Woohoo! Oh, brain
The
bug is
locust
happy.
was your favorite?
Brain bug.
Yeah, the insects, because who doesn't like insects?
Brain bug hates.
Brain bug.
He hates insects.
Shout out to Brain Bug.
What I don't understand is why when Pharaoh, when Yahweh supposedly hardened Pharaoh's heart, why he didn't just harden it enough that it would stop beating, and then problem solved. And yeah, then Pharaoh wouldn't have let his people go, but they could have left because no Pharaoh.
Or he could have softened his heart. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Or
I don't know.
God's a dick.
Or this God, the creator of everything. Everybody pause.
Everything.
This majestic creator, all knowing, all loving, all everything being, could have created every single one of us to be perfect and flawless and have the ability to worship him and serve him in every single motherfucking way. But what did he do? He created us full of flaws,
He
up,
fucked us. He fucked
full
us.
of fucked up shit, and all of these the depravity and the disgusting.
He's like, I want children to have brain
our works-
cancer
our
and bone
works-
cancer and fucked up shit like that.
Yeah, our
Praise
works,
God.
our works as when the scripture talks about our works are as filthy rags, which means they're like minstrel rags. They're minstrel rags. Like that's what God did. This all-knowing, all-loving God. That's what the fuck he decided was the best thing for his creation.
That's right. Goody, are you on your
follow
Goody
me
and
for a
Oz?
second.
So,
You
hold
need
on, I'm
Oz?
almost-
Do you need to go to your tent?
So hold on, I was 2 words away, or maybe 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3 words away. Congratulations, Yahweh, you did it.
Yeah,
You did it. High five. Asshole.
Best God
Hold
ever.
for a second.
all-knowing, all-powerful
all,
being made a
How
screwed
could
up
he
world.
be all-knowing if he didn't do everything? Number one, and second of all, if he is everything,
Oh
that
my God.
includes the darkness and the death and the everything. But eventually, you see that eventually he perfected himself, and those things were discarded, just like things that are in us that have to be perfected too.
Huh?
Okay.
So you're saying God started out as imperfect?
Well, it can take
God's a
darkness and
douchebag.
evil and things that aren't
Well-
in the love of the eventual spirit of love of God.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. The Bible does
Hey,
say that
hey,
God
hey.
creates evil.
Hey, Dak.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Dak, actually, in the Old Testament, in the very, 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 very beginning, when we're running back, we already know that God fucked up when he created all of us fuckers, because he said, I regret creating this.
Yeah, he
So
repented having made us.
He
I
already
mean,
he already knew he fucked
He
up.
created Oz.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who creates this piece of shit? Who creates this piece of shit?
Right.
Unless he redoes this reality, yes, he is bound to us.
Huh?
What do you mean by bound to us?
In other
What
words,
does that even mean,
he's
dude?
revealed himself to us to the
How?
point where we're his witnesses now of his glory.
No.
Yeah, he
you
can
know-
wipe it all
Well, he
away
should-
and start over,
He
but
would have
Glory
to show up. He would have
Hold
to show
on.
up.
Hold
first
on,
for that.
Diffreak. Is that your name? Is that it?
Yeah.
Freak?
Well, it's not my name, but
Oh.
that's what that's my
Okay.
troll name, whatever.
That's what you want to go by?
Yeah, it's a troll name. It's a
That's
troll
cool.
name. Yep.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Sure. So what actually convinced you, or like initially?
What?
Initially, I mean, like I said, I needed forgiveness for something that I did, and I didn't know where to turn.
So you felt
I was repentant. I was repentant. I needed forgiveness because I did something that I couldn't live with myself for.
Forgive me,
So
Amy.
I
forgive
searched
me.
for the Lord Jesus, and He
What'd you
revealed
do?
Himself.
Did
That's
you
my
steal a
testimony.
bag of Doritos from the grocery store?
It was
What'd you do?
It was a little bit worse than that, but it was
Die on
something
the
that I
cross for me.
regretted to the
I mean,
point where
I know
felt
people
like
that are
Jesus did.
serving. I know people that are serving lifelong sentences in prison.
How
So I don't know if you know people that are actually
Die on the
bad
cross
people.
for me, Amy.
that saved
I do. I know people that have killed people.
I'm gonna hang around for a while.
Well, I've injured people, so
Stick around.
Oh, you've
Stick
injured
around.
someone. Like on purpose? You like go around beating? You're a thug. You go around beating people up for no reason.
No, generally no, but things have happened, and
Generally?
I was like
happened.
I mean, I considered myself a good guy, a science guy, an evidence guy, or whatever.
But science.
Bill
And,
Nye the Science Guy.
But I
Bill
couldn't live
Nye.
with myself for what I did, so I had
It's
to.
just a
I was looking for
little rough around
forgiveness.
the edges.
Oh, hey, bro, you need to work on your troll game. Your troll game's weak.
Did you ask me
Very.
what he did to
I
for
agree.
forgiveness?
No, you asked God. That he's the victim.
I do a way better troll. It's what I'm
So
trying.
I don't even know, like your whole like I
Dude,
was.
I'm just giving you my testimony. I don't know what you're saying.
And, no, when you come
We're
on
saying
here,
you need
you're
to
like,
step
I
up
was a
your
bad
game
person.
if you want to come into this channel.
Yeah,
You got
Troll.
to step up the troll
Yeah.
game, bro.
Seriously.
I can
What
do.
have I said
can
that's
do
been
10 times
inaccurate
better.
or out of line or out of that
Just
wasn't part of my
everything.
testimony or
Everything.
anything? I mean,
Everything.
It's your
It's
inflection.
very-
You have up inflections. You're
It's
like,
very
"I was a-"
superficial sounding. Everything is superficial.
The whole being in the throne of God. That's you got to work something better than that, please.
Well, I mean, that was just you asked me how it came to pass to where I actually started to believe this shit was crap. It was real, right?
Well,
Guys,
You wanted to know, make me think that this crap was real.
Hold on, every freak. Hold on. So the fact that you're dropping f-bombs and everything is it's a tall tell sign. But let's just rewind and pretend that didn't happen. What condition? What condition is it that requires somebody to be saved and go to heaven? What is the criteria for somebody to be saved and go to heaven?
You have to put your faith in Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's not the Bible. Move on.
And that's okay. We're actually gonna start wrapping up soon because it's gonna we're coming to hour 4. So
Wrong.
The
wrong.
freak. Question.
Yeah,
If
of
someone
course I'm
wronged
wrong.
you, if someone injured you, let's say on purpose.
Hold on. Hey, Dak, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Of course I'm wrong.
So Dak, ask me. I'm an atheist and a former Christian. Ask me, how does somebody get saved and go to heaven?
Please indulge.
I don't think there's any way because I don't think there's any such thing.
no,
But if you're talking about what does the Bible say?
Yeah, just
asking
pretend. Just pretend. Pretend I'm the troll.
How do you
I
get
should,
into heaven?
I should know this. Give me a moment.
No, I'm Dak. I'm asking you to ask me.
Oh, you're
So
asking me to
Oz,
ask you. Okay,
Oz,
okay.
how do you get into heaven?
Yeah, Amy did it.
So Romans says, believe in your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and you shall be saved.
There you go.
Fake news.
pretend really hard, and then you might convince yourself otherwise.
That's your only test is to
Got it.
believe in Jesus, and you make it to the next level.
Cool. So I
you
answered
gotta
it for you.
pretend really hard. Sorry.
I know it's not easy.
Yeah, there is some conflict in the Bible about what it is that gets you into heaven, but I don't recall what the other options were.
No.
But,
Paul.
But there is that one.
Paul is
I'm
the
going to tell you a couple of stories.
Paul is the author and the finisher of the New Testament.
Thanks, Trump.
And he says in Romans, confess with your mouth, believe in your heart, and ye shall be saved. There's no other. There's that. That's
Who makes these deals?
Right, that's believing in Jesus, right?
Oz, why aren't you Oz? The question is, why are you not faking it until you make it?
Because I'm not like you.
Like me?
I'm kidding.
Good night, Jay.
Oh yeah, and that's right. Bye, Jay. Also having you on. And okay, guys, we're getting ready to wrap up soon. So I'll let
I'll be around.
second to well, hold on. If you don't want, I'll give you the second to last, because I normally let James, since he's the other host, go second. So who just came in? I think Blaster Master.
Yeah, that was the last one. I'll go. Yeah, that's fine.
Come on,
I'm
boss.
hanging out.
Woohoo!
I'll be around, shooting the shit.
We have been Skeptic Bible studying destruction, darkness, and death. Oh my. What are your thoughts on this whole Moses shtick?
Moses? Did he even exist in the first place?
No.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at on that.
Charlton
Because
has
as far as I'm aware, he never existed.
I got called an anti-Semite by Smokey for saying that, I believe. He said...
Well, isn't Smokey like a...
We don't know.
Smuggler?
We don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't there some, like...
We don't comment, on poor Josh. Poor Josh.
And my family.
I'm just saying, that guy is a scumbag to the ultimate degree. And I called, I have a good track record on this. I have a pretty good judge of character. Smokey Saint, you're a piece of shit. I know it. Even if the claims about you that whatever aren't true, you're still a piece of shit.
But come on, Smokey, come on. Tell us your
Come
story.
on,
That guy is a
Smokey.
fucking scumbag.
And
I'll say
okay. Hey, we're a politically incorrect channel here, so you can say whatever you like.
Scumbag. We may be scumbag.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. And no, you can say.
I think everything that he does, his actions speak for themselves. And the way he talks to people, I've tried to talk to him once or twice, and he's a complete dick to everyone. So
see, I'm always hesitant to go on some of the channels in that direction because they get very muddy. They're very hands-on with people, especially people they disagree with.
Yep.
And so it's not as much fun.
Yeah.
no,
Exactly.
and you come on a channel like this, and we'll let Avon the Freak spout nonsense, even though he's trolling us.
Exactly. Hey, I
We don't
want
care.
Theist to come on here. Theist,
Yeah,
we love you.
we want
Real
actual Theist to come on here, not fake Theist.
I will say that
We're not going to bite your heads off.
I will say that really quick is that the theist channels,
Absolutely.
they push away atheists, but the atheist channels, we love theists even if you're trolling.
Yeah,
That's right.
isn't that kind of funny how that works? It's like the exact opposite.
I talk to a lot of pastors and stuff online, and occasionally they'll message back, but if they do, it's usually just a deflection. Oh well, you'll get yours in the end. Kind of.
And they're just waiting for you to end so they can do their next pre-sup script down the line.
They don't want to have a conversation. That's pre-sup. Apologetics, I think, is designed to shut conversations down and
What's your
with non-belief.
everything?
My ultimate, it's the
ultimate,
ultimate
yeah.
butthole. And I'll tell you, Blaster Master, I've said this a few times. The atheist job is to convey information. The theist job is to sound technical. Those are two different goals. And so,
muddy the waters.
but if
I
you
mean,
disagree with me, theist, come on.
I try
Come
to.
in on to her.
I think that if people are actually honest with themselves and others around them, they're generally willing to admit that they don't have good reasons to believe in a God. Like if you actually talk to people one-on-one, like I think that most people are fairly honest once you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, you know. Like nowadays, at least, especially the younger generation, like older generations may be more prone to believing in that sort of thing, but that's just because they were raised in that sort of thing. It's more of like a dogma than a belief.
Well, we talk to people all the time, and when you get to hear their reasons for believing, it's usually not what they do in their outreach and their apologetics. It's completely different.
It's the opposite. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a church where there was like William Lane Craig, Frank Turek, Ken Ham,
Kent Hovind.
Maybe. Oh, yep, all those
boy.
apologetics, all those main people in the
Three
90s.
Stooges.
I saw all of them in person. And met
I
them.
hope you
And
feel better, Ancher. It was lovely having you on as always.
They turned
Bye,
me into
Andrew.
it. They turned me into the atheist I am today. So good on them.
Well, praise the devil.
Praise Satan.
Well, they turned me into
Fuck
an
Turk.
anti-theist is what they did. They made me realize how harmful faith is.
Turk is bullshit.
Oh. Yeah, man. It was so weird because you'd have William Lane Craig and then like Kent Hovind, and they have like kind of hold like opposite views, kind of almost.
William Lane lame. William
Yeah,
Lane
William.
lame.
Look, I got the cosmological argument.
And okay,
The
so
Kalam.
we're moving right along.
Who wants to go with the
Hello.
freak?
I was gonna say, I was gonna go. I think Donald Oz, the freak, and you, James.
All right. Donald?
So Donald, what is on your mind? We've been talking destruction, darkness, death. Oh my!
Oh, I was just looking up a couple of things and stuff while I was listening. Here, let's see. I can post this last link I've got over in the chat. Stuff about how to get into heaven.
That could have went anywhere. I'm glad it was very serious.
Yes,
And,
yes. I was a little nervous.
Stuff about that could have went anywhere.
How to crawl in her, and we're gonna take away the chattel now. No, it's okay.
At any rate, there's, like I said, there's a bunch of different stuff the Bible says, but yeah, really, what it comes right down to, at least in the vast majority of modern Christianity, seems to be the case that the one common key factor is belief. Doesn't have to be true, just belief. And I mean, that's like somebody telling you, well, if you'll invest $1,000 in my little thing I've got going, you'll be a billionaire as long as you believe that it'll make you a billionaire. And then when they invest $1,000 and you go bankrupt and you tell them, sorry, you're not getting your money back
after you die.
But you said
you
I'd be a billionaire
hard enough, like I did, and that's why I got $1 million.
Apparently, you didn't believe enough.
Yeah,
because if you really believed it would have made you a billionaire, you'd be a billionaire right now.
Fucking
and it's
bitch.
like, do you believe you're a billionaire? Yeah. So I mean, it's a nonsense thing to try to say that something that believing something is the key to understanding or getting it right or whatever. It's no, you should believe something when the evidence indicates that it's true. Not in order to convince yourself that it's true in the absence of evidence or contrary to evidence.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
What he said.
Ramen.
And actually, Oz, I was going to have you go next, but I think I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to let the freak go next, and then I'll let you, because I think you might want to talk. So, the freak, we have been skeptic Bible studying on destruction, darkness, and death. Oh my.
You could think.
What are your thoughts? How are you feeling? All the above.
I'm feeling fine. Thank you. Thank you. I really do enjoy the show very much. I like your narration and everything. Moses proves Egypt existed. Egypt proves Moses existed. The Red Sea artifacts. There's plenty of artifacts that they found. It's not national news or anything, but you can find it out there. Mount Sinai.
New York through Spider-Man existed.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on.
Yep,
Let him go. Let him go.
Right, even the Assyrian transcripts talk about what? Israel. So they were there. They were there with them. They all kind of
It was a place.
testify to each other that they existed. It's history. It actually happened. So that being the case, how can you discount the literature that supposedly came from there so easy? if all the other cultures, all the other societies all verify that they all existed.
Yeah, how?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
So anyhow, as far as getting into heaven, you have to put your faith in Jesus Christ. That he actually died for your sin, and he pulls you through to where you're only judged once instead of twice.
The author of Alice in Wonderland, who made up the character of the Cheshire Cat, also existed. But the Cheshire Cat doesn't exist. And evidence of the Cheshire Cat doesn't include that.
And okay, we're gonna hand it over.
In Egypt doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Dude, you sound like
So listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, listen.
Oh my god!
I missed that. What was that about Egypt?
Just because you've never been there doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
And I feel like it was a good prediction.
And just because Egypt exists doesn't mean everything the Bible says is true.
Very long, very hard.
Just because Egypt exists doesn't mean Yahweh exists.
That's true. And okay, thank you so much to Freak. And with that, we are going to hand it off to Oz. Oz, we have been skeptic Bible studying destruction, darkness, and death. Oh my.
With some
thoughts.
Oh my. This damn Bible. So the first thing, because I fucking try to pride myself in being a proper skeptic. Atheists, when Christians are talking, when theists are talking, let them talk just like the same way we want to talk. And we want to have the room to talk. When they're talking, all of us, shut the fuck up and let them talk. Because when we're talking and we're trying to lay out our argument or our position, we want to be heard. So do the same fucking thing for them. That's the first thing I'll say. But when it comes down to Moses and Isaac and the scholarly consensus is like all of those characters are myth. Like that's all mythology at this point. Like your scholars, your biblical scholars know that, and that's what time it is. And as far as the death and the darkness that is in the Bible, especially if you go to the New Testament, it is, you barely have to turn 2 or 3 pages in the Old Testament to find out that this God, this Bible God, is really, really fucked up, and he loves blood and he loves human sacrifice. And if we go back to the Abraham and Isaac story, he even loves to fuck with kids, and there's child abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse. There's trauma there. There's so many dark things about this God of this Bible, and there's things in the New Testament too, but he made it way too easy. He made it way too easy in the in the Old Testament. But what I will do shamelessly is plug right now, Saturday the 30th, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing the first ever, as far as I've found out, but the first ever debate tournament and championship. There's a belt on the line, a championship belt on the line, and for most of the participants, there's $666 on the line. Where if they win, they get the $666. So if
Oh
you,
shit! I didn't know that.
yeah, that shit, it's going down.
Fucking sign me up, dude. Next time I'm on, dude. I'll
Yeah,
debate some
yeah,
dumbasses.
it's for well. I won't say there's dumb. The
No,
60,
I know there's some
yeah,
there's some good people on that list, but there are also some
yeah.
idiots.
But there's some studs. There's some studs on that list. But there's
Yeah,
the belt
Skylar and T Jump and
I've said it all along. Godless Granny is my sleeper pick. She for 30 years. For 30 years,
Word
was a lawyer, an attorney, and she knows how to give a good argument.
Dude,
and
did you see her like interviewing SJ?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, I need to watch
So
that.
I've been following SJ for a long time, and I've been talking to her for a long time. Like we kind of have like a relationship almost. Man, she really I feel like she jumped the shark in the last year. Every 6 months or so, she jumps the shark. She's like, I give up on trying to reason.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. But Granny's my sleeper pick for the entire tournament. But
I can see that.
At the end of the day, no matter
is Paula G in there?
No, because we had several people that didn't realize, like, oh, this is a real thing.
If you had like Dr. Josh and Paul in there, I think like those two.
Well,
I'd put my money on those two.
Yeah, Dr. Josh is actually he's helping me put the whole thing together. He for the Final Four and the championship, he is the mod. He's the mod for that. But we had several big names that were like, oh, like this, like y'all are like doing cash and a belt, and I was like, why? I actually said that from day one. I said that from day one, but people didn't realize how serious we were, And now people are like, oh, the next one you do, oh, we're in it,
dude. I'm coming in. I'll come strong.
Yeah, the next one would be even more epic than this one. But I do have to give mad love to everybody behind, and Amy's one of them as one of the mods and judges.
Well, Oz, you guys. I remember when you guys kind of first started on YouTube. Like I kind of found you guys early, and I was like, this channel is going to blow up quick. And I knew you guys were going to blow up. And, I don't know. I know you guys don't have that many subscribers, but I guarantee you within like a year or two, you guys are going to pop. Like it's going to pop within the next 6 months. I guarantee it. Like you'll pop.
No, I appreciate that. And we do well for the, I've done a lot of research. So this is Amy's channel. I don't need to talk about the show.
Well, no. Well, you guys are just nice guys, and like
it's a great channel.
There is a community on YouTube, great, and you have high quality content, and people are gonna be attracted to that no matter what, man. So like, you guys are doing your own thing, and that's great. And you guys kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even know who you guys were until you showed up on YouTube. Like, I didn't have TikTok or anything, and I think that's where you kind of started. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I need to do TikTok.
I was happy when you guys showed up to YouTube. I was like, "Whoa, who
China?"
are these guys? And then you brought in some some people from the outside community too that aren't necessarily connected to YouTube when the great debate community or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we're just we're grateful. We're grateful for the growth we've had. So
it's gonna go up. You guys are gonna pop soon. Don't worry. You're at the breaking point. Like there's like I've watched a lot of channels go through this where it's like you start off like you're like, and you guys put a lot of effort into your shit, and it shows, and people are attracted to that. So don't worry, it'll happen. Just keep doing what you're doing. Is what I'm saying, Oz. You're doing the right thing.
Nope. I appreciate
it's
that.
gonna blow up.
Love you.
Have a great night, Oz. Thanks always for coming on.
I love you too, dude.
For sure.
All right. And so with that, James, we've been skeptic Bible studying.
Oh boy,
destruction, darkness, and death. Oh my. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we made it palatable, but it's honestly one of the most grotesque, disgusting passages we've gotten through so far. It's just wrong on so many levels, and I think it's almost indefensible. But we made it through it, and yeah, it's why we're anti-theists. It's why we're working against religion, trying to help people come out of religion, trying to stop people from going into religion, and have a little bit of fun doing it. So I had a great time tonight. Thank you, Oz. Thank you, Donald. Thank you to Freak, but step it up in terms of the trolling next time. Thank you, Blaster Master, Jay, and yeah, had a great time.
Woohoo! All right. I want to thank James W., Donald, J. Mixon, DeFreak, Oz, Bible Burner, Spooky Bed Hair, Pavel D., Brian, Brainbug, Titan Uranus, Haley, Blaster Master, Robert, and anyone else that I missed. I hope you all had and Andrew, didn't say Andrew, and Andrew, who is taken. I think she said she needed to relax because she wasn't feeling good. So I hope Andrew feels better. I hope you all had an awesome time on this episode of Skeptic Bible Study, Destruction, Darkness, and Death. Oh my, where Yahweh showed us his true colors as he once again killed everyone around him except for his chosen group of people.
Lifted up his man skirt.
Remember, folks, what happens in Egypt stays in Egypt. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that all button icon so you can be part of our live stream. If you'd like to help make more fun content, feel free to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I'm Amy Newman. I'll see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z.
And you're welcome.
God's a dick.
Thank you, Dak. God is a dick. Little dick. Little dick Yahweh.